The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Good evening. Welcome back to Community America Ballpark, live in Kansas City, Kansas. Game 3 of a 4-game series between Kansas City and Laredo. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the Lemurs of Laredo at 43 and 35. Leading off is the designated hitter Ty Morrison. Batting second, the second baseman is J.D. Pulfer. Burt Reynolds, the left fielder, bats third as the cleanup hitter. Dennis Phipps is in right field. Batting fifth, the first baseman Zane Chavez. The catcher Jesus Poso bats sixth. And the third baseman batting seventh, Cesar Valera. Batting eighth, the former Railcat in center field is Brennan Metzger. And batting shortstop in the ninth spot is Alvaro Rondon. Morrison, Pulfer, Reynolds, Phipps, Chavez, Poso, Valera, Metzger, Rondon. And pitching for Laredo, which we'll see in the bottom of the first inning, is Gabe Perez. Tonight, Sean Fernie makes his second start since being activated back from the disabled list. He was on the inactive list after getting injured early in the month of June. Pitched earlier on this homestand, pitched a couple of scoreless innings against Lincoln. Kansas City has won 5 consecutive games, looking for number 6 tonight, and entering play just 5.5 back of the Central Division. So a lot of baseball left to play. Kansas City still in hopes of a postseason run here, just 5.5 back as Sioux City and Lincoln continue to battle each other over the weekend last night. Sioux City gave Lincoln their 8th consecutive loss. First pitch of the night is just a little bit low as Fernie throws an off-speed pitch at 81 miles an hour to get us underway. Low 80s here tonight, much more comfortable than we saw earlier in the week. The wind is blowing in from left field as the 1-0 pitch from Fernie is a little bit high, 2-0. Ty Morrison batted in its 2 spot last night, 2 for 4, batting .286 on the year. 4 home runs, 35 RBIs. As the 2-0 pitch by Fernie is right down the middle. So a lot of off-speed pitches here to begin the first inning for Sean Fernie to begin the game. Wind blowing 10 to 15 miles per hour in from left field. It'll definitely help the pitching staffs tonight. 2-1 pitch, lined in left center field, dropping quickly, and Gillies isn't going to get there. It's a leadoff single here in the bottom of the first inning. Defensively for Kansas City, Steve Swingle will work behind the plate. Mojica at third, Frias at short, Wiley at second, Blackwood at first, and the outfield left to right. Gillies, Massey, Rodriguez for Kansas City. So leadoff base hit by Ty Morrison. Laredo is a team batting .270 coming into tonight. Sean Fernie looking for his 4th win of the year. He is 3-2, making his 8th start of the season here tonight. Now looking for a ground ball and a possible double play opportunity. So J.D. Pulfer, the right-handed middle infielder, will bat next. Laredo and Gary made a huge blockbuster trade toward the end of last year, and J.D. Pulfer, Drew Martinez, and Brennan Metzger all going from Gary to Laredo. Here's a pitch hitting to center field. Massey barely has to move. He'll make the catch, and the first out has been made. Kansas City will represent the first responders tonight as a first responders night here at the ballpark. Red and white tops for Kansas City, black numbers and lettering, and white pants. For Laredo, that digital camo top and gray pants. Laredo once again doing their typical pregame routine, and Matt mentioned that earlier in the series, but every time Kansas City was announced as a starter in the lineup tonight, Laredo kind of mimicked that lineup as they came out from the third base dugout. Pete Incaviglia back at the helm for Laredo, former big leaguer that had a lot of success in the Texas Ranger organization.
No score, top of the first, 1 on, 1 out, as Fernie has a couple of pickoff attempts to first that both were late. Burt Reynolds, the left fielder, will bat next. No home runs, no RBIs. Double play candidate is what Kansas City is hoping to do here in the first inning. And here a little blooping line drive into right. Starlin Rodriguez makes a nice catch as he goes down to his knees and keeps the ball in front of him. It kind of squirted away as he was trying to transfer the baseball into his glove or into his right hand. And out number 2 here in the first inning. Back to first goes Ty Morrison. So no Dalton Wheat tonight. Rodriguez in right field. Kansas City in the Lincoln series went strictly Dalton Wheat. More so in this Laredo series, we've seen more Rodriguez than we've seen out of Dalton Wheat. Outfield very deep against Dennis Phipps, one of the more dangerous hitters in the league. Back to Laredo for his second year, and the first pitch is just off the inside corner, 1-0. Very good crowd here tonight. We'll talk about the crowd, I'm sure, throughout the duration of the game, hoping to cheer Kansas City on for their 6th consecutive win as they try to come all the way back in the Central Division race, entering in 4th place in that race tonight. Another pickoff attempt at first, and once again, Ty Morrison dives back safely. Dennis Phipps, 274 hitter. 16 home runs, 49 RBIs. He is a dangerous, dangerous hitter. Last night, Phipps was 0 for 4 as Kansas City's Jared Messer kept him in check. As here's a high pop-up that'll get out of play on the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tomorrow, it's a reminder that we play at 1:05 in the afternoon. Mike Kickham will face off against Zach Dodson. That's the starting matchups for tomorrow's game. Tickets still available at tbonesbaseball.com for a 1:05 start tomorrow afternoon. Ground ball, base hit into left field, just past the diving effort by Vladimir Frias. That's the second hit of the inning. Up to second base goes Morrison, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Zane Chavez. So Sean Fernie, a little bit of trouble in the first inning. Just 1 pitch away from getting out of it, straining a couple of runners on base for Laredo. Laredo historically, or at least the last 4 years that I have been working with Kansas City, Laredo has always been prototypically an offensive team. Not to say they haven't had any pitching, because they've had some really good starting pitching, but typically their lineup is pretty potent top to bottom. This year, maybe not as hefty as it was a year ago. First pitch in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Chavez has power, 5 home runs, 31 RBIs. 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the top of the first inning. Game number 3 of this 4-game set. We'll see Laredo again not too far down the road. They come back next Tuesday for a 3-game series. Kansas City and Laredo that have played twice in Laredo, now playing twice in Kansas City in the month of August. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fernie from the stretch. Checks back at the runners in the 1-1 pitch. Hit pretty well, deep left field, but Gillies is there. He'll make the catch about 5 feet in front of the warning track, and the inning is over. So Fernie allows a couple of singles, but no damage in the first. And after half of an inning, Laredo 0. Kansas City coming up on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Bottom of the first inning, no score. Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. Get you your starting lineup for Kansas City here tonight. Leading off the center fielder will be Tyler Massey. Jimmy Mojica will bat second. He's at third base as the second baseman Brett Wiley bats third. In the cleanup spot, in at first base, Jake Blackwood. Anthony Gallus returns batting fifth as the designated hitter. Batting sixth in left field is Tyson Gillies. Tyron Rodriguez will be in right. He'll bat seventh. Vladimir Frias, the shortstop, bats eighth, and batting ninth for Kansas City is the catcher Steve Swingle. Massey, Mojica, Wiley, Blackwood, Gallus, Gillies, Rodriguez, Frias, Swingle. For Kansas City here tonight, they'll be facing off against Gabe Perez. Perez making his third start of the year, his fourth overall appearance. 1-0 record, 4.22 ERA. Only pitched 10 2/3 innings. He's allowed basically one hit per every inning. 10 hits, 5 runs all earned. He's walked one, struck out 11, so you talk about a great ratio there. And batters are batting .250 against Perez. So a high strikeout guy, and what you can tell early, which is 1 walk per 10 innings. He stays in the strike zone a lot. We'll see how Kansas City attacks him in the first inning. Kind of not really a heavy workload for Fernie in the first inning, but not as quick as he would have liked. And now we will see how Perez handles the Kansas City offense. Not a lot of offense last night by either team, just 2-0 the final score. Messer was in a groove last night, and nothing against the other side because both pitchers last night were fantastic. Both of them pitching complete games. First pitch of the night for Perez is a fastball outside, and the count's 1-0. Tyler batting .282, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, and the second pitch way outside at 86, 2-0. So as I mentioned, based on the numbers, it would suggest that Perez is a strike thrower. The first 2 pitches were about 5 to 7 feet outside. Now the 2-0 pitch, and it misses high, ball 3, 3-0. So Perez definitely showing some good velocity, really whipping that right arm right through the mechanical form, but right now he is missing his spots. 3-0 pitch right down the heart of the plate, and the count's 3 balls and a strike. John West coaching first base tonight. Dave Shaw back at third. Kansas City looking to win their second consecutive series here at home after sweeping Lincoln earlier in the homestand. There is a walk, so a 5-pitch walk to Tyler Massey, and Kansas City has the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the first inning. That will bring up Jimmy Mojica. When Perez uses his defense at some point tonight, his outfield will look like Reynolds, Metzger, and Phipps left to right. Valera is at third, Rondon is at short, Pulfer at second, Chavez at first is the defensive alignment for Laredo tonight. So 1 on, nobody out. Mojica with that 1 home run and a .274 batting average coming to the plate. Brett Wiley will bat third tonight as he has over the last couple of weeks. There's a first pitch strike, and the count is 0-1. A great crowd tonight, one of the bigger ones we've had this homestand. Obviously, Saturday kind of helps it. The temperature definitely helps. Not scorching as we have sometimes seen on this homestand. The wind kind of giving an additional relief effect for everybody here in the ballpark. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a very generous strike call by Brian Childs. The pitch from this angle, which we're almost directly centered behind home plate, but obviously elevated, it looked to be way outside in the opposite batter's box. It really didn't even look close.
but nonetheless called a strike, so a very generous strike zone. And sitting up way outside is the catcher this time. 0-2 pitch is high and outside, and the count's 1-2. So why not? If you're going to get beyond the outside corner, why not continue to go beyond and beyond? And that's exactly what Laredo tried. Brian Child is set up literally 3 feet behind the catcher, so he is way behind the catcher. And once again, over the last 4 years, do I not really talk much about umpiring in specifics unless the mechanics aren't really good. And Childs is so far back that he can't really see what a ball and a strike is. 1-2 pitch way outside, and it's 2-2. Good breaking ball from Perez. Most of the time, as a home plate umpire, you should be so close that you're basically touching the catcher's back or shoulder, and Childs is way away from it, and strike 3 called on the outside corner. My goodness, the strike zone is a good 1.5 feet to the outside part of the plate. So a strikeout. Mojica is the first out of the night for Kansas City, and that'll bring up Brett Wiley, and Kansas City may want to bring up Orrs to the plate if the zone is going to be that large. Now we'll see how the strike zone adjusts to a left-handed hitter. Wiley batting just a tick under 330. 326, 5 home runs, and 38 RBIs. Left-handed batter against the right-handed starter. And the pitch on the way is way inside. Now, Brian Child and Trent Delmont as a part of this crew. We've seen them many a times over the last several years. Delmont is the third base umpire. Sandberg is the first base umpire. Good fastball that barely missed, 2-0. So a leadoff walk followed by a strikeout. Mojica caught looking. A couple of pitches kind of questionable, and now Perez falling behind. The 2-0 pitch. Very good hittable pitch by Wiley, and he fouls it away. 2 balls and a strike. So Perez at 13 pitches here in the bottom of the first. Kansas City trying to take advantage of the leadoff walk. No score, just underway. Bottom of the first inning. Outfield straight away, and there's really not much of any shifts. 2-1 pitch, barely missed inside, 3-1. Well, the good thing is we're in the first inning, which means maybe at some point we're going to have a consistent strike zone. And Brian Child is already yelling inside of the Kansas City dugout. I don't know what Kansas City was arguing. The last 2 pitches barely missed the zone, but Brian Child is yelling at the first base dugout. And once again, Brian Child is set up about 3 feet out of position. 3-1 pitch, ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning. On the run was Massey, but no throw as the pitch was inside. And 2 walks in the first inning. So a guy who'd only walked 1 in almost 11 innings, or now 1 in 11 innings, has walked 2 in a third of an inning in tonight's game. So the control has been a little shaky so far for Perez. And now we'll have to face a dangerous hitter in Jake Blackwood. Blackwood for Kansas City has been highly consistent. Kind of had a very slow start in the month of May. First couple of weeks of June was still somewhat slow, but when he hit mid-June and all of July, he's really become to be that consistent hitter that we have seen over the last couple of years. First pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Boy, the pitchers so far in this game still trying to adjust to Brian Child's strike zone. And he is pretty much, with his positioning, somewhat guessing. Here's a foul ball straight back off the face mask of the catcher, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike.
So if anything, even if Kansas City doesn't take their first lead of the night, they will force Perez to throw a lot of pitches in this first inning. 2 on, 1 out, base hit away from taking the first lead of the game. Kansas City still looking for their first hit. The 1-1 pitch is way outside, and the count is now in Blackwood's favor. 2 balls and a strike. And history would say that Pete Incaviglia is also a manager who won't really tolerate a moving strike zone in the way that Child has already kind of went off on Kansas City's dugout. This might be an interesting game when all said is done. There's a curveball for a strike. And the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Massey at second, Wiley at first. Both left-handed hitters have walked in the opening inning. Now the 2-2 pitch is way outside, also low. Full count, 3-2. So last night, Matt would have already been in the 4th inning. Tonight, we're in the bottom of the 1st. Jared Messer was in a groove throughout the course of the night. See if the runners possibly go. They do. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Throw to third. Massey is out by about 5 feet. It wasn't even close. So Blackwood strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning. And then Massey is caught stealing third base. And boy, 2 walks in the first inning. Kansas City cannot cash in for the early lead. We head to the second. No score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We head to the second inning. Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. No score as Sean Fernie goes back to work. He'll face the 6, 7, 8 hitters of Poso, Valera, and Metzger here in the second inning. Both pitchers trying to find the strike zone in the first inning. That's all we can take away from the first inning. Kansas City had a couple of walks, could not take advantage of it. Laredo had a couple of hits in the first inning, and they could not take advantage of their early opportunities. So we are still stuck at 0, and that'll bring up a catcher, Jesus Poso. Poso batting .276, starting his 53rd game of the year. 37 RBIs, 8 home runs. He's also got 13 doubles on the year, batting .276. Outfield fairly deep against Poso. Third baseman Mojica guarding the line at third, shows a bunt and takes a strike. And kind of the way that the zone has been in the first inning, I wouldn't be surprised if both teams kind of have somewhat of a conservative approach at the plate. Fastball missing outside, and the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tonight might be a clinic. If you are a prospective umpire, one that down the road that's what you want to be, then you will probably hear a lot of positioning, mechanical flaws, and just general positioning from me tonight. That's kind of the way this one already looks. 2-1 pitch. Called strike, outside corner. It barely caught the corner.
And Fernie has the count 2-2, and a very upset catcher is Poso as he comes back and stares at home plate umpire. Now the 2-2 pitch is just a bit low. Fastball missed somewhere, and the count is full 3-2. Well, if you like pace, if you like tempo, come back tomorrow afternoon. Fernie quickly back to work from the windup. His 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, got him to pop it up. Shallow outfield. Massey comes running in from center field and makes the catch in right center field for the first out of the second inning. We've already talked about it, but just a reminder, tomorrow afternoon, the game is at 1:05 in the afternoon. Tickets are still available at tbonesbaseball.com. It is our second to last 1:05 afternoon game. Kansas City back in town next weekend against Texas. Kansas City home for a couple of more weekends. Also ending their season this year at home in the regular season against Sioux Falls. Kansas City trying to pick up another big win against Laredo tonight. And if you talk about postseason races, this is a huge implication ball game. 1-0 pitch, a high chopping ground ball to short. Frias has it. Strong throw to first. In fact, so strong of a throw, it takes the throw up into the air, and Blackwood cannot go up fast enough to bring it down. It'll be an E6 on Vladimir Frias, as Valera is on board safely because of the throwing error. So Kansas City has committed their 72nd error of the year. And for Vladimir Frias, it is error number 23. So the 23rd error for Vladimir Frias this season. Averaging about one every third game. That is not really good in compared to what we've seen in years past. He has been so routine, so good on the defensive side, but this year he has made a lot more errors in those easier plays for him. He's got the best range in the league. The arm is so strong, sometimes he just uses it too much, and that was the case of it there as Valera takes advantage of it. And now 1-on-1 out for the center fielder, Brennan Metzger. Once again, a former Railcat who's batting right at 100. He runs very good, and a pickoff attempt at first will not count. He was safe anyway, but time was called at the home plate. Brennan Metzger has no home runs. He also has 0 RBIs. Double play depth for Kansas City, but not really a double play guy at the plate, as the fastball sinks inside and the count's 2-0. No score, top of the second. Third or fourth game out of between Kansas City and Laredo. Brennan Metzger last night went 0 for 3. For the season, he was just 1 for 10, and this pitch missed somewhere. It's 3-0. So Sean Fernie, as well as Gabe Perez, has really had their battles tonight at the plate with regards of the strike zone. 3-0 pitch, and missed inside, walked him on 4 pitches. So a 100 hitter who was just 1 for 10 did not even get a strike on 4 consecutive balls out of the zone. So a leadoff out followed by a 1-out E6, and now a 4-pitch walk. So a very ugly start to the second inning. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Alvaro Rondon. Alvaro batting .256. 1 home run, 32 RBIs. He did not play last night. Double play is in order. Kansas City hoping to take advantage of it. They would like to see a chance to turn a double play. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Good changeup, and the count's 0-1. So Rondon saw a strike, went after it right away. Came up empty-handed. First and second, both runners have been placed free of charge. An error and a walk. Now 0-1 is a foul ball. Out of play off of the sweet section and then ricochets back into the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. Tomorrow afternoon, once again, Mike Kickham, the guy who started the series or started the homestand, got a win against Lincoln, will finish the homestand tomorrow afternoon, hopefully with the same storyline. This pitch just barely outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So boy, the zone right here in the first 2 innings is just flip a coin. Early in the first inning, the strike zone was highly extended. Here in the second, not nearly as extended. The 1-2 pitch got him swinging on a good changeup in the zone, up in the zone, and the second out has been recorded. First strikeout of the afternoon for Fernie. So now 2 on, 2 outs. Back to the top of the order for Ty Morrison, who singled to lead off the game. So Fernie, just like he was in the first inning, looking to get that final out. Strand Laredo with a couple of base runners on board. One really good pitch could get this inning over with. And that's a good fastball in the outside corner for a strike. Sean Fernie has thrown 29 pitches through an inning and 2/3. We are scoreless here in the second. Wind continues to blow in from left field and a foul ball straight back. So after the 4-pitch walk to Metzger, Sean Fernie has delivered a couple of very good pitches to Rondon and now to Morrison. Needing one more strike to get out of it. Possible ground ball or a fly ball to get that final and 3rd out of the inning. Fernie way ahead, comes set, gigantic lead in the 0-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner, fastball 89 as Fernie just let it fly. Back-to-back strikeouts, and Kansas City gets out of it for the second consecutive inning. We head to the bottom of the second inning. No score. Kansas City coming up on the other side of the break. You're listening to the T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Bottom of the second inning. Nathan Moore back with you as the T-Bones look to get their first lead of the night. Anthony Gallows will lead things off. First pitch from there for a strike. Second pitch high into the air, right center field. Playable for the right fielder. And the catch is made by Dennis Phipps, and the first out is made. And a one up, one down for Tyson Gillies. Next pitch to Gillies is a big off-speed pitch, swung on and missed. And it counts 0-1. Gillies has had a very good homestand. On the year, batting .250, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. Kansas City looking for their first hit still yet. Next pitch way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield straight away. No shift. First baseman Chavez guarding the line. 1-1 pitch, off speed, swung on and missed, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The third baseman Valera way off the line at third. Outfield straight away. One ball, 2 strikes. Gillies looking for his first hit of the evening, and this pitch is fouled away. 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Next pitch, little blooper, left field, going to drop in for a hit. So Kansas City has their first hit of the game. And Tyson Gillies is the first guy to do it. So the third base runner already for Kansas City. And 1 on, 1 out for the right fielder Starlin Rodriguez. Starlin Rodriguez for Kansas City did not play last night. Dalton Wheat did and had another great night. 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI last night. Rodriguez did not play last night. So he will be making his first start, or his first start of this day, obviously, and that pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Rodriguez batting .256, couple of home runs, 18 RBIs. Runner at first is Gillies. Rodriguez on Friday night went 2 out of 4 with 1 run, so he is 2 for 4 in the series. Kansas City has been a little bit stricter on his playing time here of late, only because of the emergence of Dalton Wade. He's been so good in right field. 1-1 pitch, a high chopper to third. It'll go foul at the last moment, and it counts 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gabe Perez, last start on August 8th, he went 6 innings, allowed just 1 hit, and struck out 10 in a 1-0 win over Texas. Perez has played professionally since 2009. Beginning in the Dominican Summer League, he was 50-18 overall. Here's a high pop-up on the infield. The catcher, Poso, calling for it, and the catcher uses both hands to make the catch. And out number 2, that'll bring up the shortstop, Vladimir Frias. So Perez professionally 50-18 with a 3.05 ERA. Very solid numbers. And Vladimir Frias, who last night went 1 for 3, will look to continue to have a pretty solid series against Kansas City. Last night, Beckham went 8 innings, allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits, didn't walk anybody. Messer, however, a complete game shutout with 10 strikeouts. There was 0 walks in last night's game. That's pretty special when you can go a complete game without a free pass, and that's what happened last night. We have already had a couple of free passes, 2 issued by Perez, 1 walk issued by Kansas City. Pitch to Frias is pulled foul off the tarp and into the seats. Off and running on the pitch was Tyson Gillies. He'll have to go back to first. One on, 2 outs, bottom of the second, no score. Vladimir Frias batting in the 8th spot. Steve Swingle to follow if Kansas City can continue the threat here in the second inning. 1-1 pitch, shows a bunt, taken outside, 2 balls and a strike. Mike Kickham gets the start tomorrow afternoon, and boy, he was great on Monday night against Lincoln. He picked up a much-deserved win, did Kickham. He is 3-2. We'll see him tomorrow afternoon. Tickets available at tbonesbaseball.com. Tonight, fireworks after the game, brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Pickoff attempt to first, and back in safely is Tyson Gillies. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Laredo. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Kansas City. Two balls and a strike. Perez looks into the pitch. It's a called strike, outside corner. Very good pitch. And the count's now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Breaking ball fouled straight back. Right off the screen behind home plate. And the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Perez set from the stretch. Here comes the pitch, and it goes high. Ball 3. Full count, 3-2. So this will give Kansas City the advantage with Gillies running. If Frias could put one in a gap somewhere, that extra help by Gillies to get that early break could possibly allow him to score on a hit in the gap. Number 9 hitter, Steve Swingle, would be next. Kansas City in the first inning had 2 on, 1 out. They would not score, both batters reaching on walks. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, hit well, deep left field. Back he goes, and over his glove, or over his shoulder, but an outstretched glove makes the catch. So a good play by Reynolds in left field to make the final out of the second inning. We head to the third. No score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the third inning. Nathan Moore back with you, live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. No score between Laredo and Kansas City. The last time Kansas City
had Fernie on the mound. He just went 2 innings. That was on or earlier in the homestand. He is looking for extended outing here, more of an extended outing. He is at 32 pitches, and the count is 1-0 on J.D. Pulfer. Outfielders are straight back. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Pulfer takes one in the dirt, 2-0. Pulfer 0 for 1, flied out to Massey in the first inning. Next pitch, off speed, swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike. J.D. Pulfer not happy with himself. See if Kansas City can get Fernie through a quick inning. Last 2 innings, he's had 2 runners on in each inning. Getting out of it without any trouble except for raising that pitch count up. 2-1 pitch, line drive, second baseman. Nice diving play, Wiley to his feet and throws him out. A line drive, 1-hopper to the second baseman. A nice defensive play as Wiley with a dive in the shallow right field. Got up very quickly and a perfect throw to first, and J.D. Pulfer robbed of a hit. So nice defensive play there from Brett Wiley, the best defensive play so far of the game. And 1 up, 1 down for the left fielder, Burt Reynolds. Wiley just so smooth. He doesn't rush his throws, takes his time, and has very good range at second base. There's a pop foul straight back over the top of the dugout over the concourse area, and the count's no balls and a strike. Now the 1-strike pitch to Reynolds. Big swing and a miss. 87-mile-per-hour fastball, and the count is no balls, 2 strikes. The wind blowing in from left field, so not really the perfect conditions for hitting at the ballpark, but the wind really not that big of a deal, not really howling in. 0-2 pitch, way up and in, got him swinging, and 2 up, 2 down. So there's a strikeout number 3 for Sean Fernie, and 2 up, 2 down for the right fielder, Dennis Phipps. That pitch wasn't even in the same zip code of a strike zone. That just told you how good of a pitch it was out of the hands of Fernie, and Burt Reynolds was really fooled badly. Dennis Phipps singled in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. And the first pitch here pops it up on the infield, but now twisting foul, and it will reach the third row right behind the tarp on the first base line. 1 strike. Kansas City trying to find themselves into the postseason. Last time Kansas City got into the postseason, 2010. Tim Doherty got Kansas City to a 58-42 mark. 58 wins for Kansas City. Is way up there in regards to team history. There's a foul ball, and the count is 0-2. Last year, Kansas City finishing the season according to historical records at 49-50. 0-2 pitch, a little bit low, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2014. John Massarelli's squad was 48-52, right around that 500 mark. The last time Kansas City was over 500 was back in 2012. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Dennis Phipps. Back-to-back strikeouts and a perfect dominating inning by Sean Fernie in inning number 3. We head to the bottom of the third. Still no score on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services. An accredited chest pain center or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the bottom of the third inning. Nathan Moore back with you, live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. Still no score as Kansas City looks to change that here in the bottom of the third inning. 9-1-2 batters, Swingle, Massey, and Mojica scheduled to hit in the inning. See if Steve Swingle can give himself an opportunity to get on base to give Kansas City a leadoff base runner. First pitch on the way, fastball way outside, and the count is 1-0. Steve batting .213, couple of home runs and 8 RBIs. He's been with the team since the first game of the year. He's been on the squad in his first season in KC. Another rookie on the Kansas City roster. A lot of youth on this team. 1-1 pitch, another foul ball, and the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Perez looking for the first out of the third. Kansas City looking for their second hit. 1-2 pitch, fouls it off of his foot, and stays alive with the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Steve Swingle. We'll see if Kansas City can get another hit. This fastball sails high and outside. Ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this one way up and in, ball 3. But full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now that'll be a quick conversation between the third baseman Valera and the pitcher Perez. Trying to get Perez back into the strike zone. Full count, 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Third walk of the game by Perez. And Kansas City has their leadoff man aboard in inning number 3. So Perez all over the place again. He walked 2 in the first inning. Now, once again, you're talking about a starting pitcher who came into the game. He had walked just 1 base runner in his previous 11 innings. He has walked 3 tonight in 2+ innings. So he has been pretty wild to say at least here in the first couple of innings. First pitch to Massey, not even close, way outside, and it's 1-0. No score, bottom of the third game of the series. It all concludes tomorrow afternoon. Then Kansas City a quick 3-game road trip to Wichita on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 1-0 pitch is a high pop-up and it'll reach the seats. And the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swingle at first. The count's 1 ball and a strike. Massey walked and then was caught stealing to end the first inning. Perez set, looks in, 1-1 pitch, way inside, almost hit him. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. Already 48 pitches for Perez. Nobody warming in either bullpen at the moment, which is to be expected at least on Laredo's side. We'll see what the possible distance for Fernie will be in this game. He only pitched 2 innings earlier in the week. 2-1 pitch, just foul past first. And the count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Probably would have been ball 3. There was some Major League Baseball history-making news earlier this afternoon. I will tell you about that after the next pitch. Perez is set, 2-2 pitch, and a foul ball. Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge, if you don't know who they are, I guarantee you will not be alone. They are 2 rookies for the New York Yankees. So Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge, rookies, each homered back-to-back in their very first ever Major League Baseball plate appearance. That has never been done in Major League Baseball history. So back-to-back home runs for 2 rookie Bronx Bombers to break history earlier today. So a little bit of interesting news. On the other side, another full count. Perez really getting that pitch count up. Will Swingle be running? No. 3-2 pitch. Inside. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks in the 3rd inning. And now 4 walks already in the game for Perez. Swingle walked to second. And now the entire infield is going to come in to talk with Perez. And now the pitching coach will come jogging out. Everybody gathered around the young Gabe Perez. And he has the entire attention of everybody as he has missed location. Perez, pretty young, born on March 9th in 1991. He's last played for New Jersey. Came into today a 1-0 record and a 4.21 ERA, but he's really missed here with his control in this inning in particular. Back-to-back walks. In both cases, he was way ahead of Swingle 1 and 2 before Steve walked. And then Massey was in the count 2-2 before back-to-back pitches missed on him. And an interesting side note, all 4 walks have come against left-handed hitters. So the lefties have been a problem for Perez. And now Mojica will come up, shows a bunt, and pops it up. It is fair at the moment, and now goes foul out of play on the third base line. And the count's 0-1. Not a bad idea. Kansas City right now in a scoreless game in the 3rd. A bunting situation with your best hitter coming up next. Not a bad idea at all. Try to get yourself an easier opportunity to take the first lead of the night. On the other side, Mojica has been a pretty good contributor offensively for KC. 1 for 4 last night, batting .274 overall. Runners at first and second, nobody out. We're in the 3rd. Shows a bunt inside, almost hit him. And had Mojica not been squaring to bunt, he would have been hit by a pitch. Instead, now the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. But John Massarelli gives the signal to Dave Schaub, who relays it to Mojica and to his base runners at first and second. Laredo still expecting a bunt. Not showing a bunt, and it misses inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. And all of a sudden, Gabe Perez in this 3rd inning is absolutely all over the place. A golden opportunity for Kansas City to score here in the 3rd inning. Back-to-back walks, and now you have your 2, 3, 4 hitters all due up now. Not showing a bunt, and a pop-up on the infield, in foul territory, and it will go foul by about 4 rows behind home plate. And the count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And another instance where a fan wanted nothing to do with the pop foul ball. Count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swingle at second, Massey at first. Can Mojica move the runners? 2-2 pitch and a foul ball straight back off the netting. And the count stays the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another 2-2 pitch outside, ball 3, full count, 3-2. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Kansas City trying to get themselves an opportunity to take advantage of walks. And another foul ball out of play on the right side. And the count stays full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Hammered to deep left center field, but back goes Metzger. Underneath it, makes the catch. Swingle attempts third and now slams on the brakes and is not going to move the runners. But a very good plate appearance by Mojica nonetheless. And now 59 pitches in the game for Perez. So Mojica flies out, and that'll bring up Brett Wiley. So Mojica really battled back and forth, but unfortunately could not get on base, could not advance the runners. Now we'll see if Kansas City can somehow find a way to make Laredo pay for all the free passes. Perez has walked 4 in 2 1/3 innings. And so far, Kansas City has not made them pay for it. Here's the pitch. Inside, gets away from the catcher. Swingle's going to try to advance. Safe at third. Steve Swingle advances on a pitch that got about 3 feet away from the catcher. Tyler Massey did not advance. Steve Swingle did advance. And Kansas City now has runners on the corners at first and third. Very good initial reaction by Steve Swingle. They're showing the replay now in slow motion, and looks like Swingle just barely gets his hand in. It was a bang-bang play at third. Trent Delmont, the veteran third base umpire, all over it. Kansas City got the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, Massey could not advance. Of course, his reaction is just to make sure that Swingle goes. If he would have waited that extra 2 or 3 seconds to make sure Swingle went, then he would have been gunned down at second base. So really nothing Massey could do. Now Wiley in front of the count. The 1-0 pitch. Down the right field line. Fair baseball into the corner. Kansas City will have the lead. All the way from first. Here comes Massey around third. Coming to the plate. Safe at the plate. RBI double for Brett Wiley. And Kansas City has a 2-0 lead here in the third. A 2 RBI double for Brett Wiley down the right field line. And the second baseman cashes in again. And finally, Kansas City forces Perez to give up runs with the free passes here in the third inning. So Steve Swingle easily scores from third. Tyler Massey goes first to home. And Kansas City has the lead. And now will Blackwood try to advance Massey into scoring position or beyond scoring position, as he is in scoring position already. First pitch to Jake. There's a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count's 1-0. Kansas City has won 5 consecutive games looking for their 6th consecutive win. They're in the dead heat of a postseason race. 5.5 games coming into tonight behind Sioux City. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner at 89 miles per hour. The count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Got the corner. And a strike is called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blackwood didn't agree on the pitch, but this time, from this angle, it was a pretty good pitch. One ball, 2 strikes on Jake. He is 0 for 1, struck out to end the first inning. Kansas City, with him at the plate, had first and second, 1 out. On a 3-2 pitch, they opted to allow the runners to steal. Blackwood struck out, and the Massey was caught stealing third. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball just a little bit too high. And the count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now Perez at 65 pitches. And a little bit of stirring around out there in the Laredo bullpen. We are only in the 3rd inning. A very slow-moving contest here tonight. A lot of pitches by Perez. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball inside, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. Kansas City has 2 runs on 2 hits. Only 1 hit this inning, and they have scored twice, courtesy of a couple of walks. See if Blackwood can come through this time on a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back at-bats that Jake has struck out. 3 strikeouts now in the evening for Perez, and now 2 outs for Gallus, who is 0 for 1. So now Kansas City needs a 2-out hit by Gallus to allow Wiley to come in to score. Wiley with that big 2-run double in the inning to give Kansas City their first lead of the night. That's where we are, 2-0 here in the 3rd. 69th pitch of the night is right there for a strike, breaking ball at the knees. And the count is 0-1. Gallus batting right at 200, 13 home runs, 35 RBIs. Way below his career line and batting average, not even close. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball popped up. Shallow center field. In comes Metzger. Looks up. Makes the catch. Inning is over. But a couple of walks to lead off the inning. Turns costly for Laredo in the 3rd. We head to the 4th. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basser, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Nathan Moore back with you as we head to the fourth inning. 2-0 lead for Kansas City. As Sean Fernie goes back to work, first pitch breaking ball for a strike on Zane Chavez. Kansas City with 2 in the third leads the game 2-0 as we begin play here in the fourth. The 0-1 pitch. Chopper to first. Blackwood has it. He'll flip it to Fernie covering, and very quickly the first out is recorded here in the fourth inning. So 1 up, 1 down for the catcher Jesus Poso, who is 0 for 1. That's exactly what Sean Fernie needed. He needs a quick inning. He has been sitting in the dugout for quite a while, but he needs a quick inning, put all the pressure back on Perez and Laredo in the bottom of the fourth inning. Fernie, good curveball for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Perez right now, just you can imagine, not a lot of confidence after a lot of walks in the first 3 innings. He knows he's not hitting his spots. Fernie here in the fourth is just attacking the hitters. He's way ahead, 0-2. And if Kansas City can have a very quick inning by Fernie, put Laredo back out there to work, and they might be able to add to their lead pretty quickly. 0-2 pitch, got him swinging inside, and Poso couldn't resist. 5th strikeout of the night by Sean Fernie. And 2 up, 2 down for the third baseman, Cesar Valera. Valera, 0 for 1, reached on a E6, charged of Vladimir Frias in the second. That was the 23rd error of the year by Vladdy at short. First pitch on the way, just a bit outside, and the count's 1-0. That was pitch number 49 for Sean Fernie. He's been pretty efficient. Had a pretty long first inning, but pretty quick second, pretty quick third. And a change-up for a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield straightaway, pretty medium depth in the outfield. Mojica guarding the line at third. 1-1 pitch, hitting up the middle. Tough play, Frias has it, off-balance throw, in time for the third out. So good defensive play there by Vladdy at short. And Sean Fernie, a perfect 1-2-3 fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Tyson Gillies leads off for Kansas City here in the fourth inning. Nathan Moore back with you, live at Community America Ballpark in Kansas City, Kansas. 2 runs for Kansas City in the third. That's the game right now as Gillies fouls this one away. And down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Tyson singled in the second, raised his average up to 257. Wind kind of slightly blowing in from left field. Outfield here straight away, no shift of any kind. Here's the 0-2 pitch and a bit outside. So Laredo, at least in the first 3+ innings, haven't really displayed too much of a shift on the outfield perspective. Here's the 1-2 pitch way outside, and it counts 2-2. But on the infield side, we've seen the first baseman Chavez really playing deep behind the bag at first, really guarding that line at first base. A lot of times at third, Valera has played off the line. 2-2 pitch, a high pop-up in foul territory. Will it get out of play? It does by 2 rows, as Valera has his whole body out of the seats, or out of the stadium into the seats, and came up just a couple of inches shy of an out. We are in the bottom of the fourth inning. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead. Both runs coming on a 1-out, 2-run double by Brett Wiley. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is high, and the count is full 3-2. Action in the bullpen for the Kansas City T-Bones. A left-hander begins to throw. No action in the bullpen for Laredo. Sean Fernie might be getting close to that mark in which they want to protect that arm. 3-2 pitch right down the middle. Called third strike, and down goes Gillies. It's the 4th strikeout of the night. Gillies didn't think it was a strike. He thought it was low. He jumped back, but it looked like it might have caught the middle of the plate right at the top of the knees. Nonetheless, 1 up, 1 down for the right fielder, Starlin Rodriguez. Starlin 0 for 1, popped out to the catcher in the second inning. First pitch right down the middle for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Starlin was jumping backwards, and the pitch was right down the middle. That's probably the best pitch he's going to see. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball down and outside, and the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike. The next pitch will be Perez's 80th of the game, so you talk about a guy who might not last too deep into the game. Kansas City doing a good job working his pitch count. This pitch a little bit low, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. So 2-1 the count on Starlin Rodriguez, and this one is hammered to deep left field. No doubt about it. Home run number 3 for Starlin Rodriguez. And Kansas City has a 3-0 lead. So Starlin Rodriguez with a solo home run in the inning. And Kansas City now leads 3-0 as we play here in the 4th inning. So Rodriguez just absolutely unloaded on Gabe Perez's fastball. And remember that point that I mentioned about possibly might have been the best pitch he was going to see? Well, I believe I was wrong. That one was right down the middle. And Starlin Rodriguez just pulled it to left and absolutely crushed it for a solo home run. And now it'll bring up the shortstop, Vladimir Frias. 0-1 pitch right to the second baseman. And the second baseman, Pulfer, catches in a line drive for the out.
And now 2 outs, bases empty for Steve Swingle. So 2 outs. Steve Swingle, who walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Now we'll see if Swingle can get on with a base hit this time. Kansas City with 3 runs on 3 hits. Pitch on the way. It is a little bit low, and the count's 1-0. On deck, the leadoff hitter Tyler Massey would follow if Steve Swingle can get on, and the next pitch is fouled straight back. And the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Swingle batting .213. Pitch on the way. Is a high pop-up that'll reach the seats. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez trying to survive the 4th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and now he'll step off the rubber. 4 strikeouts, but the big number, 4 walks for Perez. He's only given up 3 hits, but because of the walks, and also because of the home run, Kansas City has used those 3 hits to score 3 times. 2 of the 3 hits have gone for extra bases, a double, a home run, and a single. Now the 2-2 pitch is a chopper pulled foul past first, and the count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Laredo, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Kansas City 3 runs on 3 hits, and 1 defensive miscue. We are in the bottom of the 4th with a 3-0 Kansas City lead. Another 2-2 pitch and another foul ball. So Steve Swingle continues to battle. Perez keeps battling himself as his next pitch will be his 90th of the game. So it appears that Perez's night will be coming to a conclusion pretty quick. No action, however, in the bullpen for Laredo. 2-2 pitch, popped him up. On the infield, should be the inning. Third baseman Valera calling for it, as was the shortstop. But it's the third baseman Valera who makes the catch, and the inning is over. Kansas City gets a solo home run by Rodriguez and adds another run to their lead. We head to the 5th. Kansas City leads it 3-0 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Nathan Moore back with you as we head to the 5th inning. 3-0 lead for Kansas City. See if the T-Bones can get some production from the new pitcher tonight. Josh Tolles will check in, new pitcher for Kansas City. Sean Fernie went 4 scoreless innings as Kansas City going for the bullpen for the first time. Josh Tolles pitched a couple of nights ago, or he went a couple of scoreless innings. He is in the 5th, and his first 2 pitches have been right in there for strikes. Josh Tolles, 5-3 record, 3.42 ERA, his 21st appearance. He's gone 47 innings, allowed 38 hits, 18 earned runs. He's walked 22, but struck out 38. And on the season, batters are batting just .224 against him, as that pitch missed a bit outside 1-2. As we welcome in Matt Folks to the booth for the first time tonight. Kansas City leads by 3. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Big curveball stays high, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty good crowd tonight, Matt.
Yeah, good crowd. If you and I were to play our guessing game, what would you? I mean, not if we do, but we are going to.
2-2 pitch, barely missed inside apparently, and the count's full 3-2.
Because we really haven't had many opportunities to do it this year, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah.
And the year is dwindling away.
I'm going to say 6,800.
Just even 6,800, write that down.
68-11, how about that? 3-2 pitch, and he missed high, so Josh Tolles right out of the bullpen walks Metzger, and that's very disappointing because Metzger has been walked twice tonight, and he is batting an even 100. He hasn't had to swing the bat at all tonight, and has been on base twice. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Rondon. What are you going to say? You're still pondering.
No, and I've been down in the seats for a couple innings, and it looks different down there than it does.
Did you try to count them individually?
I did. That's why I went down there.
There's a strike, and the count's 0-1 on Rondon.
And so many people kept going up for their drinks and coming back that I kind of lost count at about 6,000.
Okay.
But the general admission, and I don't think we've seen this year, the general admission section is completely full.
Yeah.
A lot of white shirts. I'm assuming most of those people are together.
I would assume.
Yes.
I would assume.
Yes. A lot of people on the berm tonight.
Yep. Tolles will throw over to first and easily back his Metzger. The suites are pretty full tonight.
Suites are full. However, I am not one to... all I need to do is just be either one higher or one lower than you technically.
That's true. 1-1 pitch to called strike, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you said 68?
68-11. I kind of feel like you're making me feel like that was a good guess because you're kind of thinking about which side of it you want to be on.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'll give you my guess after Rondon hits.
Into a double play, we hope. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Rondon. He struck out once tonight. Runner at first, nobody out. We are in the 5th. Another pickoff attempt over to first. Fernie's final line tonight, by the way, 4 innings, 2 hits. No runs, no walks. I think that's an area where that is not entirely true because Metzger did walk in the 2nd. So he had 1 walk tonight, 5 strikeouts, but that's an incredible line. Here's a little chopper right to Tolles. Goes to second, safe at second, according to Trent Delmont, a third base umpire right behind the pitcher's mound. Josh Tolles made a great athletic play through to second. It's a force out, and I don't know, Matt. Looks like he actually did get in there safely. He did. Yeah. The ball never got to the back of the glove. It's one of those type of plays, and for Trent Delmont to notice that without replay was pretty good, but Tolles very aggressive, tried to get the lead out, didn't get it. That'll be a fielder's choice, no hit for Rondon, but now runners at first and second, nobody out, so immediately out of the bullpen, Tolles has pitched himself into a mess here in the 5th inning. A leadoff walk to Metzger, and now the fielder's choice.
And we saw something similar about this same inning last night. I think it might have been the 4th inning last night, but Messer, who started the game, so it's a little different situation, but got into a jam with couple base hits leading off the 4th or 5th inning, and then came back and struck out the side. We'll see if Josh can have that same type of success or luck here.
As he misses with the fastball high to Morrison. Morrison 1 for 2, singled in the first, struck out in the second. Lefty-lefty matchup. KC leads by 3. Laredo in a prime scoring position here as the breaking ball catches the corner for a strike. 1-1. Fernie pitched 49 pitches in 4 innings. He was efficient.
He was efficient, and again, he's been on the inactive list. This is just his second start off that, and John Mazzarelli was going to keep him about 50 pitches, and so there you go. You'd hoped it might have been a little bit longer than it was, but he was right at that 50-pitch mark.
That's one of the things about baseball where you kind of wish the official scorer had the discretion to give a decision based on the first 4 innings, especially like a game like tonight. Fernie will not factor in a decision one way or the other as Tolles hits the fastball on the outside corner, evens the count 2-2. So 2 on, nobody out. We're in the 5th, top of the order. This is the dangerous part for Laredo. They are looking for their first run in the last couple of nights. They were shut out last night, and Fernie pretty much kept him off balance for the most part tonight. 2-2 pitch and a foul ball straight back. Evens the count, or keeps the count even at 2.
You know, as I look at Steve Swingle behind the plate tonight, Tyler Moore's been there the last couple nights. If you look on the Kansas City side of home plate, so basically behind the Smile Generation batter circle.
Yep.
And if you're here in the ballpark, you can follow along with us here momentarily.
Tolles' 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, ground to the left side, diving play Mojica. And once again, Mojica trying to get a ball that wasn't in his area, and Frias was right there, and Frias couldn't get it because Mojica dove on top of it. So instead of getting an out, it turns into an infield single and a run, and going first to third is Rondon. This homestand alone, Matt, there has been horrible communication on the left side of the infield for Kansas City, as Josh Tolles cannot buy an out here in the 5th inning. It is now a 3-1 lead. A walk to a hitter who is 1 for 10. An infield fielder's choice on just kind of a bad decision by Tolles. And now a ground ball that should have been fielded by Frias, where Mojica didn't even give him a chance, dove on top of it. And instead of being pretty much what could have been a quick 1-2-3 inning, a run is in, 2 are on, and still nobody out for J.D. Pulfer.
Well, the only thing I'm going to slightly disagree with you with on that is Tolles' decision to go to second.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way he had to jump to get that ball, his closest throw at that moment was going to be to second base. Now, did he have time to throw to first? Perhaps. But that said, you're right on about Mojica. We've seen several times during this homestand alone where he has cut off Frias, and we've seen Frias, and granted, Vladdy had made a mistake earlier tonight, made a bad throw to first on a fairly routine ball, but we've seen Vladdy make some great plays during this homestand alone.
Yeah.
And when you take it away from him just like that, it's a lot of over-aggressiveness that is costing Kansas City.
Now a pitch, missing outside to Pulfer, 1-0. And if Frias gets to that baseball, not that we can guarantee what happens, but he probably goes to second to get the force at second.
Well,
and then you would add runners at first and third.
Well, absolute worst case, if he gets it, even if he just holds it, it's bases loaded and they don't score.
Right. That's the worst case. Instead, a run is in, and then the other runner, Rondon, goes first to third, so he puts himself in a scoring position where even a double play ball is another run for Laredo. Each team with 3 hits. We are in the 5th. Tolles still looking for the first out of the inning. 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. It evens the count 1-1. So not the start Tolles wanted here in the 5th. He is already getting close to 20 pitches, and he hasn't gotten it out. On Friday night, or on Thursday night, 2 scoreless innings out of the pen. 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. And Tolles is kind of that guy who's kind of your middle reliever that can give you some innings. These are kind of the dangerous innings, 5 and 6. Try to survive those, and you have the options of another obvious lefty that we've seen a lot in these kind of pressure situations. He would come in the 7th or 8th. This pitch inside, ball 3, and now Tolles really flirting with some tough stuff now. DeLuca would be a guy who you like to get to the 7th or 8th inning. And now Maz is arguing again with Brian Child, who's working behind the plate tonight.
And that one looked like a pretty close pitch. However, as you mentioned earlier in the game, with the way Child is set up, he had a perfect view of that one.
3-1 pitch is a strike, and the count's full 3-2. Now, once again, I kind of have been away from Child the last 3 innings. But typically, I mean, even Trent Delmont, when he works behind the plate, he puts his hand on the back of the catcher. Well, where Child is set up, he can't even reach the back of the catcher. I mean, that's how far behind the catcher he is. 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. Boy, this is becoming a really, really rough outing for Josh Tolles. 2 walks in the inning, and the bases are loaded. Nobody is warming up, and Bill Sobey is going to come out and have a word with the lefty who has put Kansas City in a tough spot here in the 5th inning.
Okay, so if you're out here tonight, you'll see our cameraman, John Ellis, on the front row.
Yep.
In a bright yellow shirt, so you can't miss him. There's only one other person in the front row with a bright-ish shirt, and it's a kid. It's not a camera-wielding adult. Now you can't see the camera. You put it down. But if you go about 5 rows back, you see the guy in the gray and white striped shirt. About 5 rows behind John Ellis.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, there's a girl right behind him, and you can't see it from up here.
Okay.
Without the binoculars. But she's basically taking a white T-shirt, and it is a Steve Swingle shirt.
Oh, sure enough.
She has taken marker and written, kind of like you would a jersey on the back, where she wrote, scripted out Swingle and put number 14 on it.
Do you think she's a fan, or do you think she's a relative?
Well, her dad is a member of the Liberty Fire Department.
First pitch to Burt Reynolds is in the dirt, ball 1.
I'm assuming it's her dad. We'll just say the guy with him.
Yeah.
Is with the Liberty Fire Department. So I don't think it would be a relative necessarily. I don't think Swingle has kin here in Kansas City.
Just a fan of...
Either a fan. Yeah, let's go with a fan.
Yeah. 1-0 pitch, and Reynolds takes a breaking ball for a strike, evens the count 1-1.
She also has a sign with her. I'm not sure what the sign says. She held it up when Swingle got on base earlier tonight. She was holding it up for him to see.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, right down the middle. I don't know what Reynolds was looking for, but that was right down the heart of the plate, and Tolles gets ahead of the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. 1 run already in. Still nobody out in the inning as Kansas City leads 3-1. Burt Reynolds is at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Got him looking for a huge strikeout for the first out of the 5th. Almost a delayed strike call by the home plate umpire. Brian Child, and now all of a sudden Burt Reynolds was arguing with him. And now you've got to deal with the right fielder, Dennis Phipps, who comes up. And he is a dangerous hitter in a big-time spot. And, Matt, this is possibly an at-bat. We're in the end of the game. We're talking about this particular at-bat.
Well, you had Burt Reynolds, who leads the league with 23 home runs. Third in the league in home runs is Dennis Phipps with 16. So just this sequence right here is huge in this game.
Now Kansas City would love to see a ground ball, end it that way. Pitch on the way. And it just barely misses low, and the count's 1-0 on Phipps, who is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in the first, struck out in the third. That third inning, actually the third and fourth combined, Fernie was absolutely on fire. Fernie struck out almost every batter he faced the last 2 innings, and there's a strike in there, and the count's even 1-1 on Phipps. He is knocking on the door of 50 RBIs on the year, and Kansas City would like to see the ball stay on the ground, possibly get out of it with just the 1 run. Big breaking ball that apparently missed high to a very large hitter, and the count's 2-1.
Holy cow. You're welcome to use my line if you like on that.
Phipps is 6'2", and that might be generous. It might be a little bit taller than that, but not a strike. Now the 2-1 pitch is a pop foul out of play, and now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And see, and what you do when Brian Child does not give you that call.
Right.
And again, last night, Trent Delmont did a great job behind the plate, inside and outside. He had some issues up and down.
Yeah.
And so when you take away that belt-high fastball, or
2-2 pitch, little popper, tough play. Rodriguez coming in, has the catch, play at the plate, and the ball is cut off, which is luckily for Kansas City, because Rodriguez's arm was not that good on that particular play. The throw was offline. It was kind of going to roll to the plate. So that's a break for Kansas City that the runner at third base, Rondon, was not going. So now 2 outs and the bases are loaded.
But what you do when you take away that part of the plate, I mean, you're Brian Child, and suddenly you have a pitcher who's struggling a little bit already, and you don't give him those close calls that, at least from here, seem to be a strike.
Right.
You force the pitcher to pitch more to the hitter and to pitch more of a hitter's count. You start the pitcher wondering, what do I need to throw here to get this guy to call a strike?
Now the first pitch. That looked a little bit high to Chavez, but looked right down the middle against Phipps, but it is called a strike on Chavez, and the count is 0-1. Tolles needing 1 more out to escape one of his toughest outings this year, and he gets right ahead again. A little breaking ball that caught the top of the zone, 0-2.
And now Chavez is complaining about the height of that pitch.
You know, some nights umpires just have a bad night. Let's just chalk this up as a forgettable night for Brian Child, and he would be one to agree that not that he's agreeing with it tonight, but every umpire has their bad nights, just like every professional has their bad night. Here's a foul ball straight back, and the count stays at 0-2. That curveball is at 66. But you can argue the zone up or down, or even if you get a little bit on the inside or outside, whatever. But it's just the positioning, and that's
that really bugs you, doesn't it?
It really does, because I know as an umpire, there's no way where he's positioned, 0, that he knows the outside corner. Got him swinging on a 66-mile-per-hour curveball. Josh Tolles faces 7 in the 5th inning. And with the bases loaded, nobody out, and a run already in, he gets the next 3 in a row, including a couple of strikeouts. And Josh Tolles gives Kansas City exactly what they needed. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Kansas City leads it 3-1 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basser, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Welcome back, Community America Ballpark, live in Kansas City, Kansas, alongside Matt Folks. Nathan Moore with you in the bottom of the fifth inning. See if Kansas City can add to their lead. Their lead right now 3-1 in the bottom of the fifth. I talked about the Phipps outing, Matt. That game, that at bat, might be what we talk about when this game comes to a conclusion. But Josh Tolles got himself in a big-time jam, got himself out of it, and now we'll see if Maz rewards him with another inning. They were warming up behind him, and now as Kansas City comes up to the plate, that action has stopped in the bullpen for Kansas City anyway. So we'll see what Maz opts to do.
Yeah, I mean, that part of the lineup, I mean, this is a good offensive team. I've talked about it the last couple nights with somebody like Pete Incaviglia, your manager. He likes the big boppers. He likes the guys who can hit home runs. And they have some guys who can do that. And they added on Thursday Burt Reynolds, the top home run hitter in the league right now. So for Tolles to get around that situation unscathed, no telling what type of confidence that might give him if he comes back out. Especially his team that able to hold on to that lead. This pitch by Martinez is a bit inside. A new pitcher, Manny Martinez, is in. You really can't look at his numbers too much. He's only pitched one inning. His ERA is an 18. He's allowed 2 runs in 1 inning on 3 hits and a walk. So not a lot to know on him. I will say, based on the first couple of pitches, he's got some pretty good life in that right arm. His first pitch was a fastball at 91, so he showed some good velocity. He'll be the top third of the order. Leading off with Massey, who takes one way inside for a ball. Massey, Mojica, Wiley here in the 5th inning. Now, with this part of the lineup, in this time of the game, it would be nice to get that run back. Yes. Maybe add a couple more. Pitch on the way to Massey, and he checked his swing, but they're going to say he went around. And it's a strikeout on Tyler Massey. Before that, Massey was 0 for 0 with 2 walks. He did score back in the 3rd inning. So Martinez strikes at his first, and that'll bring up Mojica, who is 0 for 2. Okay, what was your... Oh, yeah, you're way behind, aren't you? I am, because I need to go. I want to do it before I could just see finding out, and then I'd feel bad. 68-11 was my guess.
Broken bat, little flare to the shortstop. Rondon comes in, tough play, but he will get Mojica by a step. And Jimmy is 0 for 3 here tonight. 2 up, 2 down for Wiley, who is 1 for 1 with both or 2 RBIs out of the 3 runs.
Let's go.
Okay.
With 6. 2-3.
Okay.
I didn't want to be just below you. This way, if it's between us, we'd actually have to get out calculators and figure out who was closer.
Okay. Or just go ahead and tell Charlie, and he'll probably be able to figure it out without any calculator.
Yes, there's a reason that he's the executive producer engineer, I guess.
Wow, he takes a fastball outside for a ball. Wiley has just been a spark plug to this offense since July. And Matt, we talk about his 40 RBIs, but I keep mentioning it every homestand at least 5 or 6 times. Wiley did about 90% of his production out of the 6, 7, and 8 spot in the lineup. It wasn't until the beginning of the second week of July where Wiley even moved up into the order. He was still there in the 6, 7, 8 spot.
Yeah, it was actually after he was selected as the player of the week.
Big swing and a miss, and the count's 2-1.
But he has still been hitting very well. He went into last night's game as the best hitter in the league over the last 7 games. Now, he went hitless, I believe, if I remember correctly, last night.
Yes, 0 for 3. And that's a rarity for him of late. The hitters count right now, 3 balls and a strike.
But he should get a pretty good pitch to hit here, and the way he's been hitting the ball, if he gets that good pitch, he's going to make some good contact.
Got a hittable pitch, but fouls it away. Full count, 3-2. Brett Wiley, with 1 out of the 3rd inning, came up with a big 2-run double on the right field line. It was a perfectly placed baseball. It scored Massey all the way from first base. Swingle easily scored from third, and Kansas City took the early lead. Now the 3-2 pitch, flirting with the third base corner, and fouled it away. 3-2 stays the count.
And went right through the wickets of third base coach Dave Schaub. Just not a good defensive move there by Dave Dog Schaub.
I don't think he handles the infield defensive group. I don't think he's in charge of that. So I don't think he's going to mind too much.
So you think outfielders can let it go? Like
called third strike at the ankles on Brett Wiley, and the inning is over. To answer your question, no, I don't think if it goes through the wickets of the arms of the outfielders that it'd be okay. You're still shaking your head. You want to get that thought out?
No. I'll keep it to myself.
We head to the 6th. Kansas City leading it 3-1 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We head to the 6th inning. Kansas City leading it right now 3-1. Josh Tolles back out to work in the 6th inning. And as we go to the 6th, in a game that has been much slower than last night, but still, nonetheless, the lead 3-1. Here's Matt Folks.
Well, here's the thing. Thank you, Nate, by the way. As the first pitch to Poso is in there for a strike, but so it's basically 9 o'clock.
Yes, the game was over.
So last night, I believe the game started at 7:08, I believe. We were done then at 9:09.
Yep.
So essentially 9 minutes from now, we were done.
I remember texting you about 20 minutes. When I got to listen to the last 20 minutes, I thought for sure I'd be able to come in and listen to the last 3 or 4 innings, and I get in and turn it on my phone, and it was over. Yesterday was into the 8th inning, and it was over just like that.
And just like that, Josh Tolles walks Poso, leading off the 6th inning.
And Bill Sobey jumped off of his chair in a hurry, so he might have been making a quick call to the bullpen, and he did, because the bullpen is up and firing quickly for Kansas City.
Yeah, after the inning Tolles had last inning, when 7 went to the plate, 1 ended up scoring in this 3-1 game, but you really don't want to waste time as the first pitch is upstairs to Valera. And it looks like it's a lefty, and it's going to be, I'm going to guess, as I guess a ball came out into center field, so Massey will go out and get it and throw it back into the bullpen, which may not be a good sign for Kansas City, but
it's DeLuca.
Evan DeLuca warming up. We haven't seen Evan in a couple days.
Yeah, he threw 50 pitches out of the bullpen a few nights ago, but he's had 3 nights off, so.
Well, but the way the starting pitchers have thrown in this series, or actually in this whole homestand, as the next pitch is upstairs, it's 2-0 to Valera. It's very likely, depending on how quickly DeLuca can warm up, if Tolles loses Valera here, this may be his last batter.
Oh, yeah, I think so, because had it not been, I think Sobey would have been out right there. And, Tolles is already at 42 pitches. He pitched just 1 inning, so he's really worked a lot on that left arm over the last inning.
As this one's in there for a called strike.
And nothing against Tolles, but DeLuca has pretty much been your setup man most of the year. I mean, obviously you're not looking for your setup man to come out of the 6th inning, but he showed earlier this week he can pitch extra innings if needed.
As the 2-1 paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike, it's even up 2-2.
Best case scenario is if Tolles can get you through the 6th, then you can use DeLuca just for the 7th, maybe the 7th and the 8th to get to Haynes, but this is a big inning right here.
The kick and the 2-2 pitch is fouled back and out of play, but the good thing with the way Kansas City starters have been throwing during this homestand, the bullpen has had quite a bit of rest.
Yep.
Certainly more so than we've seen in the first couple months of the season.
And plus you have a day off on Monday, which is going to come in handy, and then of course Kickham going tomorrow.
As the 2-2 pitch, curveball in there for a called strike.
That's a great pitch. There's that curveball at 65, and that's his go-to pitch, and able to get it in there for a strike. But, Kickham is a guy who's going tomorrow that he's been giving you an average of at least 6 to 7 innings per outing. Even when he doesn't have his best stuff, he really grinds it out. He gives you innings. So knowing that going into an off day, he doesn't have to feel like he has to carry the whole load out of the bullpen if they are needed more so tonight, or you don't need as many of them tonight.
Metzger the batter now as the first pitch misses to Metzger. 1 away. Tolles has 3 strikeouts now. Runner at first. We're in the top of the 6th. Kansas City leading at 3-1.
I would like to see Metzger put the ball in play. He hasn't done that yet.
A ground ball in the infield, perhaps?
Yes.
As this one's on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Now, one thing we're seeing already out of Tolles that I don't think we saw last inning was he is working much quicker now.
Yeah.
And he worked much quicker after pitching coach Bill Sobey talked to him last inning. Here's the 1-1. It's right down the chute for a call strike. Brendan Metzger down in the count 1-2. 1 out here in the inning. And Metzger is your Chick-fil-A strikeout batter of the game tonight, if you couldn't hear that. Runner at first, Poso gets his lead. The kick and the 1-2 pitch is lined over the head of Vladimir Frias. In for a base hit, so it's first and second with 1 out. John Mazzarelli takes a step back from where he was standing. We'll see if he heads out. As Rondon comes up. And it looks like they're going to pitch to Rondon. First and second, Kansas City leading at 3-1, but Laredo threatening with 1 out here in the 6th. The kick and the pitch is down low. This just has not been a clean inning and a third for Tolles. The lefty from Adelaide comes set, the kick and the pitch. Missed high and away.
Yeah, kind of a little bit surprised after that little bloop single that Tolles staying into the game. He's now over 50 pitches. Pitched just 2 nights ago, but once again, you're kind of in no man's land in regards to the bullpen.
As this one's high, it's 3-0. So last inning, Laredo loaded the bases. They scored a run. Tolles was able to get a couple strikeouts and a flyout as the automatic's in there for a call strike. And now it's 3-1, but Tolles on the verge of loading the bases here once again.
Yeah, and you're at the bottom of the order again. You're talking about your 8 and 9 hitters that are difficult to get out.
As the 3-1's upstairs. And Tolles just kind of turns around. He's not happy with himself, probably not happy with that call. And now the bases are loaded. And we go back to the top of the lineup, and that's going to do it for Tolles. So Tolles walks 3 in 2 innings. Check that, he walked 4 in 2 innings.
Not even, an inning and a third.
But just a rough outing as he walked the leadoff batter, Poso. Struck out Valero looking. Gave up a single to Metzger, and now walks Rondon. And so the bases will be loaded for Evan DeLuca. Will take a call to the bullpen and be back after this 2-minute break on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
So Evan DeLuca, the lefty out of White House Station, New Jersey, the new pitcher for Kansas City. DeLuca making his 33rd appearance on the season. He's 2-3, 3.49 ERA. He's pitched in 38 2/3 innings, given up 36 hits, 24 runs. Only 15 of the 24 runs have been earned. He's walked 25, struck out 36, and opponents are hitting .243 against the lefty DeLuca. So Josh Tolles, who struggled through the 5th inning, came out here in the 6th, walked the leadoff batter Poso, got Valero looking, but not even that was clean. It was not a 3-pitch at bat. And then Brendan Metzger with a bloop single over Vladimir Frias into left field, and after the Rondon walk, John Mazzarelli goes to Evan DeLuca. So DeLuca with a tall task, 1 out. Kansas City leading at 3-1, but the bases are loaded, and we're at the top of the lineup. Ty Morrison with J.D. Pulfer on deck. And then looming behind those two, Burt Reynolds and Dennis Phipps. Here's the first pitch. Morrison trying to hold up, but he goes around for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. Poso at third, Metzger at second, Rondon at first. DeLuca comes set at the belt. The kick and the 1-strike pitch. Broken bat chopper that's fielded by Mohickey. Comes to the plate with it, and they get the lead runner in Poso for the second out. Swingle looked to first, but the ball really was not struck that well. Broken bat by Morrison. But a good play that time by Jimmy Mojica.
Yeah, there's no other play he could have done. I mean, there's no way he was going to turn the double play it. He gone to second. Wasn't hit that sharply, as you mentioned, to the best play. He was already coming home. I really like the decision by Steve Swingle. He could have forced it at first. It would have been very close at first, but there's no reason to do it. He would have had to step out of the way of the baseline. There's a chance of it hitting the runner, the ball getting obviously overthrown. That could have been a complete disaster. You trust a guy who's been very, very consistent this year to get one more out and try to get out of another bases-loaded situation.
So J.D. Pulfer, the batter now, as the first pitch from DeLuca is in there for a called strike. 90 on that fastball from DeLuca, who comes 3/4 to sidearm.
And for a guy like Pulfer, you're used to seeing 60 to 80, and now all of a sudden you pump it up 30 miles an hour to the low 90s.
Here's the 1-strike pitch, a high chopper toward first, but it's just foul outside the bag. It was fielded by Blackwood, who handed it to the Laredo first base coach. He flipped it to the baseball buddies tonight. The Kings are here. And out of their excitement, they dropped it back onto the field of play. So then the coach has to go over there and pick it up and hand it to him.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Swingle chatting with DeLuca for a moment. Now he gets behind the plate, getting ready for the 0-2 pitch to J.D. Pulfer. Pulfer walked his last time up, last inning against Josh Tolles. Here's the 2-strike pitch. A little bit low. I'm not sure some piece of equipment came off of Swingle.
Yeah, I thought for a second it might have been the umpire's clicker. You know, some umpires still use those. You don't necessarily trust the scoreboard sometimes, so they'll still use it. It looked like, something that was about 3 to 5 inches long. I don't know what that could have been.
It's not that they don't trust the scoreboard. They just
some places
they just want to keep it on their own.
Right.
Here's the 1-2 to Pulfer. Way inside. Now it's even up at 2-2.
So now your
bases are loaded, 3-1.
So now for DeLuca, your good stuff was working. You were trying for the strikeout. You had 2 pitches to try to get the strikeout. Just go ahead, finish it off. No reason to be too cute here. You don't want to run the count full.
Swingle puts down the sign. DeLuca gets one he wants. Here's the 2-2. Chopper that's fouled down the third base side. So Pulfer hanging tough here against DeLuca.
I think there's a few places if I was an umpire I necessarily wouldn't trust the scoreboard.
Are you saying this is one of them?
No. Not this one. Maybe
we have a guy named Hopalong who does an outstanding job in spite of being a Cardinals fan. He does a great job. Usually keeps up with it.
Yep. No, ours is usually pretty good. Maybe just
saying other places aren't so good?
Yes, and I won't name them. Since we're on video, I won't name them. There's a couple.
2 strikes. Evan DeLuca comes set, the 2-2. His line toward the right field corner. It's going to be tough. Rodriguez going back, reaches up, and it bounces onto the berm for a ground rule double, and that will tie the game. As J.D. Pulfer with a 2-out ground rule double that brings in Metzger and Rondon and ties it at 3 apiece.
No, it's actually a blessing for Kansas City that it went over because it did not, and it hit the top of that fence and it bounced away from Rodriguez. You're talking about at least 3 runs scoring and probably a triple. That held up a runner at third. So instead of the lead going to Laredo, it's a tie game. Once again, DeLuca just needs to go right after the hitter, try to get it over with.
Now you have the dangerous Burt Reynolds at the plate. Right-handed hitters. The first pitch is fouled back and out of play.
And walks have finally been the big problem for Kansas City. It was a problem for Laredo earlier. Obviously, their starter walked 4 in the first 4 innings that he pitched. Kansas City scored 2 of their 3 runs because of walks. Kansas City doing the same thing this inning.
Here's the 1-strike pitch. Vicious swing, fouled back to the screen. Again, Burt Reynolds coming to Laredo from the Texas Air Hogs on Thursday when they made the trip from Texas to Kansas City.
Talk about a change for him, a team that was 27, 25 games out of the playoff race to a team that is knocking on the door in the South and in the wild card.
Big swing and a miss on a high fastball, and Burt Reynolds will go down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight and the 2nd time in consecutive innings. And Evan DeLuca, after giving up a ground rule double that ties the game, comes back and strikes out the dangerous Burt Reynolds and limits any further damage. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We're tied at 3 now. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Manny Martinez back on the hill for Laredo as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be the middle part of the lineup for Kansas City. Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallus, Tyson Gillies in a brand new game. But one thing we've seen from Kansas City during this homestand is the ability to score late runs. And we'll see if they can break this tie after giving up 3 runs in the last 2 innings. So we'll close the book on Josh Tolles. He went 1 1/3, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, walked 4, struck out 3, threw 55 pitches in an inning and a third. Blackwood with a big swing and a miss. Jake has struck out twice here tonight. Part of a strike him out, throw him out double play ending the first inning as this one's low and away. Kansas City with 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Laredo with 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. That's where we stand at 3-3. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. 3 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for Kansas City. As Blackwood with another big cut. If Jake gets a hold of one of these, it may come down to by tomorrow. It may not.
Are you saying that he's got a couple of big, mighty swings?
He has taken 1 or 2. Jake with his 60 RBIs. As he watches this one miss inside. With his 60 RBIs, currently 3rd in the league. 12 home runs, hitting .281. So Manny Martinez kicks and delivers, and Blackwood will line this one into left field for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 6th. So Jake avoids the hat trick and gets a much-needed base hit for Kansas City to get things going possibly here in the 6th inning.
Steve Swingle. The lady has her sign up, kind of twirling it around. Maybe she'll twirl it around just in the perfect light for me to see it, Matt, but she's kind of got to get guarded again.
Here's the first pitch to Anthony Gallus, and it's down low. Anthony Gallus with a couple of flyouts tonight. Batting .199 as the next pitch grounded sharply into the Laredo dugout. Kansas City and Laredo now tied at 3 apiece. The kick and the pitch is in there for a called strike.
I'm just going to think of this as "Circle Me, Bert." You've seen those signs, right?
I have.
It surely wouldn't be here, but, you know, she's shown everybody in the stadium the sign except for those behind her. Unfortunate.
And now I'm not quite sure what happened there.
I think there was some sort of an audio, maybe behind home plate, possibly. I don't know.
So Brian Child stopped play for a moment. Now we get set for the 1-2 pitch to Gallus. Now we hold on again. I'm not sure what Child is hearing. He keeps turning around. Now he tells Martinez to fire away. Here's the 1-2. Fouled sharply off the mask of Poso.
I was hoping with all those, he's still looking. He just looked back there again. Whatever it is must be pretty frightening.
It's in his head. Here's the 1-2, a high fastball, and the way Martinez throws, he's got a somewhat of a herky-jerky motion. The gun is showing it at 90. It looks like he's throwing it much harder than that.
Yeah, it does.
Just the effort that it takes him to throw at 90 makes it look like it's going faster. As the 2-2 pitch grounded sharply, fielded by Valera, goes to second for one, back to first, not in time. As Valera made an outstanding play on a sharply grounded ball by Anthony Gallus and almost got handcuffed, but able to spin around and get the lead runner, and it nearly turned the double play, but Gallus hustling down the line, and so Kansas City will have one out with the runner at first.
That was a great play by Valera at third base. He took the entire impact of the baseball, as you mentioned, spun around, great throw to second, almost turned a double play. Gallus hustling all the way, but despite how good the right-hander was, his night is over.
So Manny Martinez's night is done. As Pete Incaviglia comes out to make a pitching change, we will take a 2-minute timeout with him with this call to the bullpen. We'll be back with your new pitcher after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Harold Guerrero, the new pitcher for Laredo, a lefty. As Gillies grounds this one, the shortstop, Rondon, making a great diving play, but it'll be an infield hit for Tyson Gillies. So really the dive was nice to see, but didn't really affect the outcome of the play. And that's going to do it for Guerrero. So Gillies comes in. He gets a base hit. It's now first and second for Kansas City with one out in this 3-3 game in the sixth inning. And Pete Incaviglia comes out and goes to his bullpen once again. So another 2-minute break. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Well, Laredo manager Pete Incaviglia trying to play some situation baseball here with bringing in Guerrero for one batter. It was a base hit to Gillies, and now Danny Reynolds will be the pitcher. Reynolds has appeared in 7 games. So again, much like we talked about earlier with Manny Martinez, not really a huge sample, 7 innings. But in 7 innings, he's given up just 1 hit and 1 walk. So Danny Reynolds will be the new pitcher now. Kansas City with runners at first and second with 1 away. Starlin Rodriguez, who had a long home run his last time up, digs in for Kansas City. Danny Reynolds, a right-hander, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. They kick and the pitch, and the fastball at 93 misses low and inside.
Well, really quickly, you know I'm a big fan of the Olympics, Matt. Can I say it or do you record it?
No, I've watched maybe an hour of the Olympics.
Okay, so breaking news, Michael Phelps has won again. 1 gold.
Whoa, hold on.
Okay.
Shouldn't you give people a chance as Rodriguez grounds one toward the corner in left field? Coming around to score is going to be Gallus. Gillies is going to be waved around. He's coming home and slides in safely as Rodriguez ends up at third base. And Kansas City is taking a 5-3 lead here in the 6th inning.
Well, that's a kind of a break in between the action, isn't it? I'll tell you what, Rodriguez hasn't had an opportunity to play very many games of late. and it's because Dalton Weed has been so good in right field. Not anything about how bad Rodriguez has been, but how good Dalton Weed has been. Incredibly good. And so now all of a sudden, Rodriguez gets a chance to play, and he has the biggest hit of the night. A huge hit. Not only does he drive in two to reclaim the lead for Kansas City to get tolls off the hook a little bit, but puts himself 90 feet away from taking a larger lead back.
Infield in for Laredo, as Vladimir Frias is the batter, and the first pitch to Frias at 95 is going away.
So, in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to say a couple things about the Olympics. So if you want to
you've kind of already spoiled it, but...
Well, there's more, though. There's more.
There's more. So if you are... As the next pitch, a safety squeeze.
Yeah.
And Frias bunts it foul. A safety squeeze, a little different from a suicide squeeze. But Frias getting that one down as Rodriguez more trotting home. But it went foul, way foul.
I like the call, though. Frias is a really good bunter. Unfortunately, didn't work out that particular play.
And Rodriguez, you have some decent speed over third base. Frias in on the left side of the plate. The kick and the pitch. Big swing and a miss. And that one's showing 94 on the gun. We've seen Reynolds hit 95. Some will contend, particularly pitchers will contend, that the radar gun here might be a couple miles an hour slower. And if that is the case, we've seen Reynolds hit in upwards of 96, 97.
And he was in the Angels organization, so he has some years in the Angels organization.
1-2 pitch, a slapped foul off the netting over the Laredo dugout. So Kansas City has taken a 5-3 lead. You've been given an opportunity now to, after this pitch.
Yeah, I was going to wait until Frias got a base hit here. That'd be a good time.
And then Nate is going to spoil something for you if you're taping the Olympics. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slapped foul, slapped off the facing. And Vladdy just doing everything he can to stay alive, as that pitch was 92 from Reynolds.
Well, you kind of know in the last few years, Matt, but I love the Summer Olympics. Not that I hate the Winter Olympics, but I really like the Summer Olympics. I haven't got to watch them as much this year as I typically like to watch, but it's been incredibly exciting.
So see, you and I, shockingly, are opposite on this. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball that goes off the facing of the sweet level once again.
You're more of
I'm an absolute freak for the Winter Olympics.
Is it the ice skating you like, or more of the bobsledding, or all of it?
It's all of it, but I grew up wanting to be a downhill Olympic skier.
Okay.
Which is tough to do when you're growing up in Kansas. Reynolds comes set at the belt. Once again, the 1-2 to Frias. Off-speed pitch that's tapped foul.
He cheated. There's no way. He took the stickers off.
So our executive producer, Charlie Boy, has a Rubik's Cube. Mix it up as much as you can.
Wait, can he do it that good?
Mix it up as much as you can.
If not, I don't believe it.
And then you can set a timer to him.
I mean, are you serious?
I'm serious.
I've never in my life completed one.
Rodriguez gets his lead at third. Here's the 1-2 once again, and once again, it is slapped foul over the third base side. Kansas City has retaken the lead with 2 runs here in the bottom of the inning.
Is there a trick to these?
2-run double.
There is? Can you Google how to fix a Rubik's Cube?
You can, but a big math dummy like me can't figure it out. Is that the best you can mix that up?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Once again, Reynolds with the 1-2 pitch. And Frias lifts this one high, but foul over the left field side.
So how long will that typically take you to complete a Rubik's Cube that is completely messed up?
You're about to find out. You have time to see it. You can sit there and watch it before Reynolds throws another pitch. Or at least pretty close. Infield in for Laredo. There's one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Oh my God, what am I watching?
Reynolds comes set. The Rubik's Cube has been solved, and the 1-2 pitch is lined toward left center. This one will drop. Kansas City will take a 6-3 lead on the base hit from Vladimir Frias as he worked Reynolds and takes it out to left center. Okay, so now you have 30 seconds. Turn down the volume on your computer or whatever you're listening to. Nate tells you.
Or configure a Rubik's Cube, because that's how long it took Charlie to do it. 35 seconds. My gosh. Okay, so earlier tonight, literally within the last 10 minutes, Michael Phelps wins career gold medal number 23 in the Americans 4x100 medley relay. So obviously that's cool. It could be his final race ever in the Olympics.
Big swing and a miss by Swingle.
Now, the big historic part of that, of course, since he's broke every Olympic record ever, but the other one was that was the 1,000th career gold medal for the United States.
Oh, nice.
So how about that? Now, can you do a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds?
I can't do it in 30 days.
I've never completed one. I usually just throw them away.
Reynolds kicks and delivers, and Swingle takes this one to the left field corner. It's going to drop. Frias round second. He heads toward third, and he will slide in safely as Swingle goes into second base. And Kansas City is putting together a rally here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, the situational bullpen usage has not worked in this inning for Laredo. I mean, we were talking about that just a second ago before Harold Guerrero faced one batter. I mean, literally, you couldn't even talk about the stats quick enough before he was out. But Guerrero was one of their better relievers coming in tonight. He faced just one batter, gave up a broken bat single. And then now all of a sudden, here we go, where, you know, you kind of made a decision. You take out one of your better relievers on the course of the year. Not that Danny Reynolds has not been good. He's been efficient as well, but now all of a sudden the game is kind of broken open again just a little bit for Kansas City. And the young lady with the Steve Swingle sign was dancing up and down for a second as Swingle wound up singling and advancing to second on a heads-up play. The second heads-up base running play he's made. The throw went to third, and he saw the throw going to third. He took second and was able to slide in safely.
And I'm going to apologize to you now, Nate, that I have messed up your scoring sheet.
Well, that's fine.
Because I colored in Frias that he scored, so now he's just going to have to score.
Well, I think that's okay. I think Massey can get the job done.
Tyler Massey is 0 for 1, walked his first 2 times up, and then struck out in the 5th. We are in the 6th, Kansas City leading at 6-3 with 3 runs here in the inning. The infield once again in for Laredo. Kansas City runners at 2nd and 3rd. The kick and the pitch is down low.
I will say, now, I've seen a lot of things in sports. I obviously just read some things about more records being broken, but I think completing a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds might be one of the more incredible things I've seen in my entire life. He was flipping it so loud that it was like there has to be some sort of a system.
As Massey lines this one, and they have Frias in a rundown. Frias between 2nd and 3rd. Swingle goes on to 3rd base, and Trent Delmont says they tagged Vladimir Frias. So again, Nate, I apologize. I messed up your scoring sheet.
At least Frias was able to stand the rundown just long enough for Swingle to go to 3rd on that play. At least advanced Swingle. Swingle, pretty good base runner, but now for sure he'll score on a single compared to not as high of a probability had it been a base hit to the outfield.
as the trainer Troy will come check out Steve Swingle, who took a quick little jog down the left field line, but now Troy's going to come out and check on him. Yes, mix that thing up as much as you can.
I don't think it's possible, Matt.
No, I know it's not.
Is that what he does in his spare time when he's not at school or in sports as he works on these? I think you're not going to have to work very much longer. I think you could just
bake on him?
Could just sell him off to some computer engineering thing or something. I think put him at Wall Street.
Yeah, he can. We're counting on him to get scholarships so he can pay for his own college, and then when he gets a good job as some type of engineer, he can pay for his mom and me.
I'm assuming you're good in math. Obviously, you have to be. Obviously, the other night we were having Charlie do some math up here, and he was doing real well at it. But I'm assuming there has to be something. Is there something to do with math on this, or it's just like just problem solving? Both. Yeah, my patience wears off after about 20 minutes of working on it.
So now it looks like Swingle is going to come out. And it looked like when he made the dive into second rather, it looked like he went in funny, and now with the dive slide into third, he's going to come out, and the pinch runner is going to be probably the tallest pinch runner we've had for Kansas City. It is the 6'8" Josh Hodges, who pitched a couple nights ago. He will be the pinch runner for Swingle.
Well, obviously, Tyler Moore will be in there defensively at the bottom of the inning or the next half inning, but
it's just funny to see it because it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't happen very often.
He's not going to be tagging up. There's 2 outs in the inning. So Hodges takes his lead at third. Massey takes his lead, and this ball is fouled back. And, going back to the ball struck by Massey, I mean, that was just an absolute rocket that hit in front of the plate. And almost looked like a line drive. As Reynolds comes set. Mojica grounds it up the middle. Rondon with it. He'll flip it to Pulfer covering second, and they'll get the force of Massey there. But not before Kansas City will retake the lead here in the 6th as 8 go to the plate for Kansas City. Here in the 6th, the T-Bones come away with 3 runs. They do it on 5 hits against 3 pitchers. And they lead it now by a score of 6-3. 6 are in the books. We head to the 7th with Kansas City leading it. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
So Tyler Moore, the new catcher for Kansas City. As we go to the seventh inning, it'll be Dennis Phipps, Zane Chavez, and Jesus Poso. Evan DeLuca, the lefty out of White House Station, New Jersey, back on the hill for Kansas City. Phipps batting .275, 16 home runs. In on the right side of the plate with Kansas City leading at 6-3. First offering from DeLuca is down low. So, I was looking down the dugout here a second ago. Josh Hodges, who pinch ran for Steve Swingle in the bottom of the sixth inning, was over talking to Maz. I don't know if he's trying to lobby for an at-bat at some point. All I saw was Maz shaking his head no, and Hodges walking away. 1-1 the count to Phipps. The kick and the pitch is in there for a called strike as Phipps was backing out. And one of those things that there aren't many T-Bones pitchers I've said I'd like to face, but DeLuca might be one of them. I'd like to see how it looks coming in from DeLuca for a right-handed batter. As Phipps chases one that was high and outside, and DeLuca just made Phipps look silly. Phipps will go down on strikes for the second time. That's the second strikeout here for DeLuca in the first out of the seventh inning. But the way he comes almost sidearm, I mean, for a right-handed hitter, it's going to look like it's certain pitches will look like they're coming right at you. First pitch to Chavez, in there for a call strike. Chavez on the left side of the plate. On one the count to Zane Chavez, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Wide open stance on the left side of the plate as the next pitch is right down the chute for a called strike. Right-handers hitting .253 against DeLuca. As this one missing inside. Left-handers hitting just .216 against him. He has faced 51 lefties. And they're hitting .216. Here's the next pitch. Big swing. It's tipped. And Moore holds on to it for DeLuca's second strikeout here in the inning. Third in the game for DeLuca, who came in replacing Josh Tolles last inning. And with 2 outs here in the seventh, it brings up Jesus Poso. Kansas City leading it 6-3 here in the top of the seventh. Here's the first pitch. It's in there for a called strike. Evan DeLuca comes set. The one-strike pitch misses down low as Poso scooting out of the way just in time. In case you haven't been listening the last couple nights, Poso with the nickname Panda, given to him from one of his teammates on the first day of spring training, and is stuck. He likes it. Here's the 1-1 pitch, just missing high and away. So the count 2-1, 2 outs here in the seventh. Kansas City in their special first responders jerseys tonight. red body, basically, with white sleeves. As it looks like a ball made it onto the field down the left field corner. Gillies will chase it down and throw back up in the stands. And we'll get set for the 2-1 pitch. DeLuca gets the one he wants from Moore. Here it comes. And it's right down the chute for a called strike. Kansas City with 3 in the bottom of the 6th. And they have retaken the lead 6-3 after giving up 2 in the top of the inning. Here's the 2-2. High and away. It was an outstanding crowd here tonight. On an absolutely gorgeous night. I think tomorrow is going to be a picture-perfect day. Here's the payoff pitch. High chopper towards short. Frias has to back up to field it and throws to first in time. And DeLuca will get a 1-2-3 inning. He strikes out the first 2 and then gets Poso on the 6-3 ground out for out number 3. It's stretch time here at Community America Ballpark with Kansas City leading at 6-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Well, Laredo goes to its bullpen once again. And they bring in the left-hander, Luis Poirena. Poirena, we saw earlier in this series. He is the sixth pitcher used tonight. Last night's starter obviously did not throw tonight. So he is the 6th pitcher used tonight by Laredo. Poirena, 3-1 on the season, 2.54 ERA, does have 2 saves. He's appeared in 16 games, 28 1/3 innings, given up 17 hits, 8 runs. All 8 have been earned. He has walked 6, struck out 18, and opponents are hitting just 175 against the lefty Poirena, 5'8", 170. And he'll be coming in here in the 7th to face Wiley, Blackwood, and Gallus as Kansas City holds a 6-3 lead. First pitch in there for a strike to Wiley. Wiley with a big 2-run double back in the 3rd inning. As he fouls this one back into the seats. as this crowd is getting loud. High chopper toward third. It's fielded by Valera, who makes a throw. Nowhere close to get Wiley, who has his second hit of the night. A nice defensive play by Valera, and we've seen him make a couple nice plays. If he does not stop that one, it ends up being a double for Wiley. So Jake Blackwood, the batter now. The first pitch to Blackwood from the sidearm throwing, almost submarine throwing, Poyarenas down low. As Blackwood fouls this one off, it's 1-1 now. Jake singled his last time up. That came last inning. He led off the sixth with a base hit, but then was forced at second base on the fielder's choice. Grounded into by Gallus, and again on a nice play by the third baseman Valera, as this one misses down low. Two balls, one strike, nobody out. As Blackwood lines this one into center field, nearly takes the head off of Poyarena. Wiley will hold up at second base. It nearly took off Poyarena's head, and the second baseman Pulfer just missed it. So back-to-back singles for Kansas City, leading off the seventh inning. Poyarena comes set at the belt. The kick and the first pitch to Anthony Gallus. Big swing and a miss. Gallus reached on that fielder's choice last inning and ended up coming in to score. Scored on the big two-run double by Starlin Rodriguez. First and second for Kansas City as this one misses inside. Gets away from Poso, but not far enough for Wiley to try to advance. Earlier in this series, we saw Wiley try to advance on something similar, but was thrown out at third base. Here's the 1-1 to Gallus. And he fouls it back and out of play. So Gallus now 1-2. Tyson Gillies awaits on deck. As Tyler Ybarra warms up for Kansas City. Here's the 1-2. Finds the hole and ends up in right field. Coming around is Wiley. He's going to score as there is no throw from the right fielder Phipps. And Anthony Gallus will have an RBI single. So 3 consecutive singles for Kansas City here in the inning. And again, it goes back to what Nate was talking about an inning or so ago, with this being the 6th pitcher tonight used by Laredo, and a couple of them were more of what you can call situational outings. Reynolds came in for one batter. We've seen a couple like that here tonight, and Kansas City able to jump on Reynolds last inning, and now Poyarena here this inning as Gillies puts down a bunt down the third base side, but it's going to be fielded by Poyarena, and he goes to third to get the lead runner in Blackwood. So a sharply bunted ball by Gillies. He'll be at first base on the fielder's choice, but Blackwood's out on the 1-5 putout for out number one. So with Gallus at second, Gillies at first, it brings up Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the big home run in the fourth inning. They gave Kansas City a 3-0 lead. But he had the bigger two-run double last inning. They gave Kansas City a 5-3 lead. T-Bone's leading it now 7-3 as the first pitch is at the knees for a called strike. Poyarena kicks and delivers and sails this one way outside. Well, Nate and I will talk about the attendance coming up. It takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. I am not a big man. Two balls, one strike, one out. The pitch to Rodriguez is fouled back to the screen. Counts even up 2-2 as the next pitch swung on a miss. Rodriguez chased a bad one way out of the zone. So Rodriguez goes down on strikes. And with 2 outs in the inning, it brings up Vladimir Frias. So Frias against the left-handed throwing Poyarena will switch around to the right side of the plate. From the right side of the plate, Frias batting .241. He is better from this side. Not considerably, but better from this side. .241 versus .230. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Poyarena shaking off Poso. Now he gets the one he wants. Here's the one-strike pitch. It's grounded sharply to the first baseman, Chavez, who will take it himself. And that'll do it for Kansas City here in the 7th inning. But not before the T-Bones will add a run. They will do so on 3 hits as Wiley, Blackwood, and Gallus open this inning, each with a base hit. And the T-Bones will leave a couple on base. We've played 7. Kansas City will make a pitching change, so we'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back with your new pitcher. After this, we tell you once again, Kansas City leading at 7-3 after 7. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
So Tyler Ybarra, the new pitcher for Kansas City, coming in here with a 3.52 ERA. He has one save, which he picked up on Thursday night here in this series. He went 1 inning that night, gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 1 as he picked up his first save for Kansas City. Ybarra has appeared in 7 2/3 innings, given up 7 hits, 3 runs, walked 7, struck out 11. So John Mazzarelli and the coaching staff for Kansas City must see something as they go to 3 consecutive lefties out of the bullpen. Josh Tolles, Evan DeLuca, and now Ybarra. Kansas City with a 7-3 lead as we go to the top of the 8th. First pitch from Ybarra is a fastball at 88 in there for a called strike.
Well, that'd be a good thing if, obviously, Laredo has troubles with lefties, as Kickham, the starting pitcher tomorrow, also a lefty, so Laredo's getting their fair share of southpaws.
Here's the 1-strike pitch. It's in there for a called strike. Okay, so
you've got me waiting for it.
So this doesn't happen often, but it happened.
My second ever win in 4 years?
I don't think it's your second. Third, fourth.
Yeah.
You won at least one a year. We try to guess the attendance as Valera fouls this one back. Nate's guess tonight,
68-11, I believe.
68-11. My guess was 6623. I figured I could either go a little bit above you or a little bit below you, and you went high enough that I thought, well, I don't want to go much above 6,900. So I went below you.
Yeah.
The attendance tonight, 6,937.
Wow.
Just a hair under 7,000 tonight. Outstanding crowd as some have kind of dispersed with this 7-3 Kansas City lead, but as the game has eclipsed 3 hours now.
You were probably almost in your car ready to go home last night.
Pretty close. My interns might debate that, but pretty close. As this one's fouled, backing out of play, and it's 1-2 now.
I was talking with the broadcaster for Laredo before the game, and he said yesterday's game was an anomaly. Laredo this year.
Big swing and a miss, so Valera goes down on strikes, and Ybarra will get the first out here in the 8th inning.
It says that this year Laredo is not the team that has had a lot of quick games. They're averaging finish time around 3:20, 3:30, somewhere around there.
I think their very first game of the year, he told us, was like 4 hours and 45 minutes.
Welcome to 2016, huh?
Yeah. Brandon Metzger, the batter now. Metzger has been kind of a pest tonight. He's walked twice, singled once, and scored twice in this 7-3 game. Here's the next pitch to Metzger, and it misses down low. Kansas City with 3 runs in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, after giving up 3 in the 5th and 6th innings. Lead at 7-3. Here's the kick and the pitch. It's upstairs.
That's something that Kansas City has done very well and very good at this entire homestand, is adding on a lot of runs in the final third of the game. In particular, that 6th and 7th innings, when it gets towards the final stretches, they've been able to add some big innings and a couple of huge innings against Lincoln.
Here's a 3-ball pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Well, and really, I'm going to go back to the series at Winnipeg, which that was part of a long losing streak for the T-Bones, 7 games, and they lost all 3 of those in Winnipeg, but they came back from some big deficits in 2 of those games. Now, they couldn't hold the lead, but they came back in a couple big deficits in those 2 games. This pitch is in there for a strike to Metzger, and it's now full now to Brennan Metzger.
Well, you knew something was going to happen tonight in another game that obviously has high importance for Kansas City. Sioux City has won 4 in a row. Lincoln has lost 7 in a row. Coming into tonight, of course, those 2 teams playing again against each other tonight. As the payoff pitch is skied into right field, Rodriguez drifts toward the line. Now takes a couple steps back, Cam center, and pulls it down for out number 2. The most difficult thing, obviously, for a team that's trying to track and catch up on a division is when 2 teams are so close to each other that, I mean, Kansas City really needed Lincoln to win. Kansas City needs Lincoln to win again tomorrow. I think personally Lincoln is not as strong as a team as Sioux City, just based on what we've seen in limited games here, especially at home, but it is a final in Lincoln. Lincoln did finally break their 7-game losing streak, so they beat Sioux City 5-4 earlier, which means if Kansas City can hold on to this lead, they will pick up a half a game. So they'll go from 5.5 to 5. So they're still gaining ground if they can get the last 4 outs tonight, which would be big. And 5 games is not out of the realm of possibility when you have 25 games left or so.
Barra with the pitch to Rondon, and it's in there for a called strike. No, and that's the thing about when you look at schedules at this point on, and I don't have them in front of me, but Lincoln has several games in the division. Sioux City has several games
they play
in the division.
They got 5 more times against each other.
As this one's in there for a called strike to Rondon. Now, Kansas City does not have a favorable schedule down the stretch. Laredo will be back here again. We go to Gary. Wichita this week. Obviously, Wichita is a very good team.
Yeah, a 4-game series in 3 days. You got that makeup game.
Yeah, on Elvis Day, there will be a doubleheader that night. And for those of you who don't know, that's August 16th, Tuesday. A doubleheader beginning at 5 o'clock.
Gary got hammered today against Fargo. That was a 7-2 final, so Gary did lose.
Here's the 1-2 to Rondon, and he lines this one up to the concourse.
Other scores, St. Paul defeated Sioux Falls 3-1. So shocking that St. Paul won again. They added to their lead in the north because Winnipeg, well, they didn't add to the lead over Winnipeg. Winnipeg won 7-4 over Wichita, so this is a bigger game as well for Laredo. Laredo's still knocking on the door for a wild card spot right behind Wichita.
Broken back grounder to Frias. He scoops it up, throws to first, and it'll be yet another 1-2-3 inning, this time thrown by Tyler Ybarra. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th with Kansas City leading it 7-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. Matt has headed to the field and hopefully will be getting us a post-game interview later on tonight. That's, of course, if Kansas City can hold on to this 7-3 lead. Kansas City with 2 in the third to take their initial lead, 1 in the fourth to extend the lead. And then Laredo, 1 in the fifth, tied it with 2 in the sixth, but Kansas City, who has been so good at adding on runs late, retook the lead in the bottom of the sixth. After Laredo had tied it, Kansas City scored 3 in the bottom of the sixth, added another run in the seventh, and that's where we are, 7-3 in this eighth inning, as Kansas City will have Tyler Moore, Tyler Massey, and Jimmy Mojica in that order in the eighth inning. Nobody warming up right now for Kansas City, so Ybarra looks like he will get the ninth. There's a little flare base hit. Tyler Moore is 1 for 1 tonight. Came in after Steve Swingle singled in the sixth inning. He exited the game with an injury. There's no update. We'll have something for you hopefully tomorrow night, but Steve Swingle was walking off with a little bit of assistance in that sixth inning, but Tyler Moore, with his first at bat, gets a hit here in the eighth inning. Hit number 12 for Kansas City. Here's your box score so far tonight. Laredo, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Kansas City, 7 runs on 12 hits. They do have 1 error. That was Vladimir Frias committing an error early in this game. It did not cost Kansas City any runs with that error. Tyler Massey today has walked a couple of times. He is 0 for 2. He has scored a run. And a pickoff attempt over to first. Moore back in standing. Sean Fernie tonight got the start, his second start of the homestand. He went 4 shutout innings. Will not factor into the decision. He did not go the minimum 5 innings here tonight. 0-1 pitch, popped foul out of play, and Massey has the count. Down on the count, 0-2. So Sean Fernie, who had missed a ton of time, went on the inactive list in mid-June, came back with a vengeance this week as he pitched 2 shutout innings against Lincoln earlier in the homestand, and then 4 more again today. Here's a high chopper, double play ball, out at second base, back to first. It is a double play on the 4-3 double play. So good play by J.D. Pulford just to tag Tyler Moore out and then make the throw over to first base. So the leadoff single is erased, and now 2 outs, bases empty for Mojica. Mojica, one of the few guys that has not got on base, whether with a hit or a walk tonight. He is 0 for 4. In fact, Mojica is the only guy in the lineup that does not have a hit or a walk. So Mojica trying to change that here in this 8th inning. First pitch on the way, a late swing and a miss, and he's behind the count 0-1. Massey 0 for 3, but he's walked twice. Wiley 2 for 3, Blackwood 2 for 4. Gallus is 1 for 4 with a run. Gillies also has a single as Mojica takes a strike. Rodriguez has a home run. He has drove in a couple with a double. And then Frias tonight singled, drove in a run in the 8th inning, or in the 6th inning. And then Steve Swingle had a hit. Tyler Moore had a hit. And Mojica will end up tonight being the only T-Bones batter that did not reach via a single or by a walk. Kansas City down an order in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Kansas City leads by 4, and we may have yet another new pitcher in. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. You're listening to the T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Nathan Moore back with you as we head to the 9th inning. Kansas City leading it 7-3 here tonight. And despite the 4-run lead, Kansas City's skipper John Massarelli wants to get Mark Haynes an opportunity to get some work in. Mark Haynes, 6 foot, 225 pounds from Sugar Land, Texas. Obviously, he has some history with Laredo. He has not pitched in this series. Kansas City has not needed him so far in this series, but he is pitching tonight and trying to protect a 4-run lead. Ybarra tonight, 1 inning, nothing. It was perfect. 1 strikeout through 17 pitches, 12 of those were in the strike zone. First pitch to Morrison, right there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. We are in the 9th inning. Kansas City leading at 7-3. Top third of the order, Morrison, Pulfer, Reynolds, scheduled hitters in the 9th inning for Laredo. Kansas City has won 5 consecutive games, trying to win their 6th consecutive game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's high, and the count's even, 1 ball and a strike. If Kansas City can hold on to win this game, that winning streak would continue to grow as well. Lincoln has defeated Sioux City, so Kansas City would gain a half a game and pull within 5 games in the Central. So very much alive in the division race if they can find a way to slam the door in the 9th. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and the fastball's outside. 2 balls and a strike. This is not a save situation And usually, these situations, for whatever reason, as a closer, you're used to protecting a slim lead. The adrenaline is really pumping, and you know you have a very, very thin line of mistakes that you can give up. There's a strike. Good fastball at 89. Evens the count 2-2. But when you have a larger lead than that, the mentality sometimes or usually goes in the other direction. And for whatever reason, closers really have a difficult time entering game with a larger than a 3-run lead for whatever reason. Let's see if Haynes has any difficulties here tonight. Morrison batting left-handed. The right-handed closer looks in, and a 2-2 pitch. Outside corner. Got him looking. Great start to the ninth inning. And Kansas City is 2 outs away from taking the first 3 games of the series. So good start for Mark Haynes against his former team. And now comes the second baseman, J.D. Pulfer. J.D. Pulfer on the night has their biggest hit of the game. A 2-run double in the 6th inning. He's also walked. He's 1 for 3. J.D. Pulfer at the plate, and this pitch misses a bit inside, and the count's 1-0. 2 outs away for Kansas City here tonight. Pulfer is there. Haynes is looking in, and the 1-0 pitch, the fastball high, and the count is 2-0. Kansas City really just needs Haynes to get his work in, be as efficient as possible, try to keep those pitches available for tomorrow in case Kansas City will need him in the afternoon. The T-Bones have used 4 relievers, counting Haynes here tonight, so 5 pitchers for Kansas City in the game. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Right down the heart of the plate at the knees. And the count's now 2 balls and a strike. Outfield straightaway. Medium depth as well in the outfield. Kansas City's infielders are playing straight up. No shift in the infield. They're just looking to get the final 2 outs of the game. Haynes looking in. And a 2-1 pitch on the way. Again, right down the middle. Called a strike, and the count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I don't know what Pulfer was looking for. Back-to-back fastballs right down the heart of the plate. We are encroaching 10:30 in the evening, and that is a game now that is over 3.5 hours in length. Much longer than last night's 2-hour and 5-minute game. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A little pop-up that'll go foul and out of play. So staying alive is Pulfer as the count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. So this will be a double whammy for Laredo if they were to lose to Kansas City. 1, Wichita has lost, so they gain no ground on Wichita in the south. Winnipeg has won, which means they will grow their lead. And Laredo's continues to fall further and further behind in that wild card race. Kansas City, if they want to make the postseason, is not going to come via the wild card. Almost impossible, really. It's not completely out of the realm, but very, very difficult. Kansas City 11 games out of the wild card, so the chances of that are extremely slim. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside, did he go? No, almost went around. The pitch was way up and in, and Pulfer almost in self-defense. Almost swung on it. Kansas City's coaching staff not at all happy as the count goes full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and a popper foul straight back into the seats. And the count stays 3-2. Full count, 3-2. Haynes looking to get the second out here in the ninth. Haynes is set, looks in, a 3-2 pitch again. Got him swinging. And J.D. Pulfer is out number 2. So talk about a really good start for Haynes. Back-to-back strikeouts in the ninth inning. And now Laredo is down to their final opportunity. And Burt Reynolds, who has had a very, very rough night, will try to come up to keep the game alive. 0 for 4, he has struck out 3 times. Charlie, do you know how many strikeouts it takes to have the hat trick? Pretty simple. It's 3. Do you know what the term or the analogy that is used if you have 4 strikeouts is? Doesn't happen very often. Big breaking balls in the dirt. You don't know? You can put together a Rubik's Cube in less than 30 seconds. 4 strikeouts in a game. Hopefully we'll use the actual term in a little bit if Haynes does it. If not, I will tell you what it is anyway, but we'll see if we can get it to come to fruition. 1-0 pitch, misses inside, and the count's 2-0. Fastball there at 87. So 2 up, 2 down in the ninth. Reynolds is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, 2 of those looking, or 2 of those swinging, and struck out looking in the 5th inning against Josh Tolles. But he is ahead of the count 2-0. Dangerous hitter, right-hander versus right-hander. Haynes' 16th pitch on the way, and has a strike on the inside corner to 89. Matt Folks is down in the dugout, right next to Sergio Leon, and be having a post-game interview for everybody at the ballpark to hear momentarily. If Kansas City can get the final out of the ninth. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And there's a strike right at the knees at 89, and the count's even 2-2. Now Charlie is getting anxious. You're really wanting to hear what the 4th strikeout of the night, the terminology would be. You can't Google it. Don't Google it. Take away all the suspense. Outfielder straight away. Nobody is shifting. Mark Haynes is coming set. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch is a little bit high and inside. The count is full 3-2. Mark Haynes has struck out the first 2 that he's faced. He's looking for the best possible way to pitch that perfect frame. And another strike would be the perfect ticket to stamp this game out and the series out with a big win and try for a sweep tomorrow. 3-2 pitch and a popper. Shallow right. Rodriguez on the run. He's not going to get there. It's going to fall in front of him for a hit. And Laredo stays alive. So it's a 2-out single to right field. And the terminology that we were hoping to use would have been the golden sombrero. That's what 4 is. If a guy strikes out 5 times in a game, I've not heard of an analogy, and that guy obviously was having a horrendous day, and they just feel bad not to make up a name for 5 strikeouts in a game. So the game will continue, and now moving on to Dennis Phipps. So a 2-out bloop single by Burt Reynolds, right in front of Rodriguez, who is playing incredibly deep and right, and looked like he might have put the brakes on just a little bit too soon. Might have had an opportunity to make that play. Pitch to Phipps, right there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. This is where you really need Mark Haynes to end this game. That was his 20th pitch. There's an off day on Monday, which means you would like for him to still be available tomorrow afternoon. And for that to be possible, he needs to get this last out in a quick fashion. Coming set, runner goes, 0-1 pitch in the dirt. There'll be no throw. It's an advancement on defensive indifference. So no stolen base for Reynolds. And the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now as we get at 10:40 in the evening here tonight. An incredibly fast game last night and a very slow-paced 7-3 game here tonight. Most of that has to be with both managers emptying out their bullpen here today. Both managers really digging deep into the bullpen, pitcher after pitcher after pitcher. And a lot of counts have gone full 3-0, 3-1. Not been very quick innings in regards to pitch efficiency. Kansas City leading at 7-3, top of the ninth, looking to win the game. Runner at second, Haynes coming set, looks at the runner, 1-1 pitch is right down the middle, called strike 2, and the count's 1-2. The flips on the night is 1 out of 4, singled in the first inning, struck out twice in innings 3 and 7, and then flew out to deep right with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. So he has had his fair chances to add to his RBI total, but he has not been successful with runners on base. Can Haynes end the game? Comes set at the belt, checks the runner at second, looks back in, and the 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging to end the game. And a hat trick for Dennis Phipps as Mark Haynes strikes out the side in the 9th inning. It is not a save situation, but the T-Bones have won their 6th consecutive game and have pulled now within striking distance of the Central Division, just 5 games back behind Lincoln and Sioux City in the American Association Central Division. Evan DeLuca picks up a win out of the bullpen. Kansas City, with the win tonight, improves to 36-42. On the other side, Laredo falls to 43-36. 6 consecutive wins for Kansas City, and the T-Bones have won back-to-back series on the homestand. Here's your final line scores for the night. Lemurs, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 10 left on base. Kansas City, 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, 7 left on base. There was no save in a game that took 3 hours and 34 minutes. Martinez takes the loss, DeLuca gets the win, and the final attendance tonight, 6,937 fantastic T-Bones faithful out here at the ballpark tonight. 6 consecutive wins for the T-Bones tonight. They look for their 7th consecutive game tomorrow afternoon as the T-Bones look to sweep all 7 games on the homestand. Matt Folks able to track down Starlin Rodriguez. If you're at the ballpark here tonight, stay tuned and you'll be able to hear the post-game interview in just a little bit. For Matt Folks, I'm Nathan Moore, and for our producer-engineer Charlie Folks, we will talk to you tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget, first pitch at 1:05 in the afternoon. We're on at 1:05 tomorrow right here on TBonesBaseball.com. You've been listening to the Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at TBonesBaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.